Yeah. Just keep telling them 1 minute each question, 2 questions. Simple, isn't it?
Yeah. Ollie Harfield. Number 4, Ian Harries.
Yeah.
7, shot skipper Stuart O'Keefe.
Yeah.
Number 8, Tyler Frost. Number 10, Josh Stokes. Number 11, Ryan Glover. Number 18, Ollie Scott. Number 23, Katie Gandora. Number 26, James Daly. And number 28, Dylan Kadji. Substitutes for Aldershot this afternoon. Number 6, Theo Widdrington. Number 9, Lawrence Tolage. Number 19, Christian Makoma. Number 20, Josh Barrett. And number 39, Kwame Thomas.
Yep, unbelievable. They still are. It's very well populated already. Aldershot, I'm told, have been allocated 1,000 spaces. I'm not 100% sure if they've all been sold, but rumours are that they have, and there are still queues on the streets outside. So we'll keep abreast of that. We've just seen a couple of stewards going to speak to the referee, so they may be making a decision about a delay to kick off, and we'll keep you posted, of course. But Freddie Snell completing a hat-trick of Aldershot commentaries before the age of 17. That's an impressive stat of its own. But Aldershot Town's team news, first of all. Let's start with that big decision for Tommy Widdrington today. He starts Lauren Tolage from the bench.
Yeah, big decision from Tommy Widdrington there. Lauren Tolage has been unbelievable for the Shots this season, and he's been a standout in a way, maybe our best player of the season. So dropping him for this game, it could be a sign that he wants him firing fit for talking. It could be a sign he's got a little bit of a niggle. We'll just have to wait and see with that one.
Absolutely, and other possibilities, Freddie, are that he really wants to have him up his sleeve in the last half an hour today, when you can imagine a fresh Tolage against tiring defenders, which include Kev Locko, the former Shot centre-back who barely found the pitch in his time at Aldershot, but subsequently played an entire season for Farnborough the following season. The other change to the Shots lineup is Stuart O'Keefe, the skipper, coming back in for Theo Widdrington. A final word from you, Freddie, before we hand back to Tim, on the fans. Already way beyond more Aldershot Town fans that have ever been to York Road for a game before.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I remember our first trip here back in 2017, and we packed it out for a brilliant 3-3 draw. And this is even more fans, and they're already in great voice.
Great stuff. That's Freddie. I'm Rob. Join us for the Radio Comms. Just a quick hello again to our online listeners. We're 12 minutes away from kick-off. I'm Rob Worrell, alongside me Freddie. And Freddie, when that team comes out today, the reception they're going to get and the atmosphere that we're sat in the middle of, because let's let our listeners know. That's Lewis Kinsella, by the way, just going by and saying hello to the Shots fans. Still got a lot of love for Aldershot. He's not made the match day squad today. But to describe for our listeners, we are halfway at least inside one of the halves here, so it will make player recognition a little bit difficult with player identification at the other end, or looking at it another way, Freddie, we've got an excuse if we don't know. But what we're in the main stand with a section of Aldershot supporters who are seated, and then away to our left is going to be 600, 700, 800 standing fans. There's no roof over them, which will affect the amount of noise, but I bet there's a bit of you loving that you're sat here, but also wishing you were in there as well.
Yeah, it's a mix of emotions. I love being in with the atmosphere, but also I want to be a commentator. But this stadium, you get the both worlds. You're in with the fans and you're sat in the commentary booth, so you can't get much better than that.
Well, I tell you what, Joe. Oh, there you go. There's a reason why you might be the commentator sooner rather than later. I tell you what, Freddie. Keep pushing the way you are, keep learning, keep listening, keep doing what you can, and you never know, there might come a day when we can share it between us. You never know. And then I can go and have days down there stood with the fans, singing, shouting, and even swearing if I want to. But not here on the BBC. You're live. Please do not swear. So a terrific number of Shots fans in. Listeners, if you've joined us in the last 5 minutes, 2 changes for Shots. Lauren Tolaj is the powder that Tommy Widrington's keeping dry today. On the bench for starters, Daly and Gandour starting. Looks like a gamble, may prove to be a masterstroke. We shall find out in due course. And they have finally made the decisions, the stewards. Fantastic decision. I don't know why they didn't do it before, to open up one more section behind the goal for the Aldershot Town fans. It is only one small section, but it is allowing them a little bit more room and a little bit of a roof over their head, Freddie, which will only increase the atmosphere.
Yep, the clouds are looking a little bit menacing over the skies of Maidenhead, so allowing the Shots fans a nice roof will keep us all dry, but still the majority of Shots fans are out in the elements, braving it, supporting the team, already got a massive voice. The chanting is getting louder and louder by the minute, and we're preparing for kickoff here.
It's making my hair stand on end, Freddie. I've watched, called, commentated on Aldershot for 7 years now. I was very lucky in my first season. Towards the end of that season, there were 10 games left, and the man who you can hear in our ears, Tim Durrans, offered me the gig until the end of the season after Gav Dennison moved on. That turned out to be 12 games, I think, or 11 or 12 games, because they made the playoffs. And since then, it's been desperately hard times. So all of that time, of course, Alan Devonshire has been the manager of Maidenhead. He did brilliant to get them up, and he's done incredible to keep them up each year as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, they've been a maybe team every year. Maybe they start, maybe they don't, but they've always found a way near the end of the season, even when they've been struggling, to pull through, stay together as a team, and find their way to stay in the National League every season.
Your dad sat to the right of you. I know he won't speak to us, but he'll give me a nod, I'm sure. He's old enough to remember Alan Devonshire as a player. An absolute thoroughbred of a midfielder. Totally unlike the team that plays for him, which have to be, I guess, a lot more direct. A lot more in your face.
Yeah.
And they've got some great talents as well, including Reece Smith, who hasn't passed a fitness test today, but still includes Tristan Abraham, Sam Barrett, Ashley Nathaniel George and Jaden Mitchell-Lawson. And I think the last time the Shots came here, I'm pretty sure Maidenhead took the lead within the first minute or two, and at the EBB earlier in the season, they were 2 up, Freddie.
Yeah.
That's got to be Aldershot's first job, isn't it?
Yeah, keep Maidenhead quiet for the first 20-25 minutes, get into the final knockings of the half, either ahead or level, because we proved we can turn it around. And in that game here last season, they went ahead in a minute, we equalised on the 7th, and then it ended as a draw. So we'll see how it goes today.
We're getting closer and closer to kick-off, 7 minutes away, and Mike Brown, one of our regular listeners, has said, Rob, it sounds like you're commentating from sat in the East Bank. That's how good it is. I'm going to try and get a photo out on Twitter, because we've got a lofty perch here and an excellent view. And I'm going to refresh my photo that I've already taken, because it's quite some sight, listeners. Let me shut up for 30 seconds and put that out on Twitter for you, at RobShot66. Couldn't find it, but that's because it's called X, of course, these days, isn't it? Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. They've opened up another section. So yeah. Just talking to my producer there. No, it must be on time. Yeah. Thank you so much, Tim. Absolutely perfect timing. The teams are coming out and my hairs are stood on end because of the sheer volume of Aldershot Town fans here at York Road this afternoon and the noise that they're making. And I don't have to describe it to you, listeners, because you can hear it. We're sat in the main stand, halfway inside the pitch on the left-hand side as we look at the game. And there are a few hundred Aldershot Town fans seated, and then several hundred away to our left, around the corner flag, and right up to the edge of the goal on the left-hand side of us. Terrific atmosphere. The teams are out, the shots are in their home kit of red and blue striped shirts, red shorts this afternoon and white socks. Maidenhead United, of course, play in black and white stripes, shirts, black shorts and red socks, which is why Aldershot are playing in white socks, I think, for the first time this season. Sad to report that we've got a couple of red flares on the pitch again, despite repeated attempts from the chairman and the board at Aldershot that the club gets fined for it, and so it is rather silly. Yes, it does make for an interesting spectacle. Stuart come on to remove them off the pitch now. Thankfully it is a grass pitch, there'll be no damage to pay for this time. But what an atmosphere, Freddie. And in fairness to the Maidenhead fans, of course, they've got 3/4 of the ground and they're spread out across it, but they're here in good number as well, especially on the raised terracing over on the far side opposite us.
Yeah, it's a packed out York Road today. There's many fans on both sides supporting both teams, and it's hopefully going to make an incredible atmosphere. The steward just playing with the fans there, showing them the flair, showing them he has the power over them. Hopefully that's not a sign to come for the shots of Maidenhead having the power over them today.
All right, let's have a look then at the teams this afternoon. Maidenhead, the home side line-up. We think probably in something remotely like a 4-2-3-1. Craig Ross in goal. Left back Sam Beckwith, the bright young starlet who continues to keep Lewis Kinsella out of this squad. Kev Locko, former Shots captain, of course, barely played in that season, but put a whole season together for Farnborough last season. Remy Clarima, vastly experienced at this level, and Zico Azare, the right back. Charlie Adams and Casey Petit, the centre midfielders. Ashley Nathaniel George on the left, Jaden Mitchell-Lawson the right, and Sam Barrett, another precocious young talent, playing behind Tristan Abraham up top. The Shots are into a huddle, as indeed are Maidenhead, and the skipper Stuart O'Keefe will be joining them now to impart his final words of encouragement. And the Shots line up as follows: Geordie van Stappershurf in goal, Harfield, Harries and Kadji the centre backs, Ollie Scott left wing back, Tyler Frost right wing back, Stuart O'Keefe and Ryan Glover in central midfield, Josh Stokes in the number 10 position, and then James Daly and Hadi Gandour up top. Very much a new look Shots line up the top there today, and Laurent Tolage on the bench along with Kwame Thomas and along with Theo Widrington, Josh Barrett and Christian Maghoma, who makes the Aldershot Town squad in a league game for the very first time, some 8 months or so after he signed for the Shots. We are very close to kick-off here. A reminder, Maidenhead are 1 place and 1 point outside the National League's huge drop zone and relegation zone this season. The Shots have dropped down to 7th following midweek wins for Altrincham and Gateshead, but very much still in the playoffs, and they have kick-off. They're going to kick off from left to right, and the ball immediately goes back from O'Keefe to Harries, who feeds Kadji. Slightly overhits his pass, and it runs past Tyler Frost and runs into touch on the halfway line underneath the gantry, the TV gantry, from where the NLTV commentary is. We met the chap Keith who's doing that today, very professional in his approach, came over the other side of the ground, asked for the pronunciation of the Aldershot Town names, and hopefully he remembers them. And we're absolutely delighted to be hosting a Good Friday Sports special this afternoon on BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio Surrey. Maidenhead getting down the left. Cross is stopped at source and back into touch. And it was around about at this point in the last game here at York Road that they went down the left, crossed it in and scored and took the lead. Freddie, were you here for that one?
I wasn't, but I was listening to you on the radio, Rob, and I remember the disappointment that came over me when that happened.
Of course, the shots went 2-0 down at home and came back to win 4-2. In comes the throw, comes off the back of somebody, half cleared. It's going to come back in from the left. And something we often get early on in a National League game, probably in a lot of football games, a hugely overhit cross. Picked up now on the right-hand side, and they may get another cross in, and that is stopped at source as well by Ollie Scott, but he's deemed to have fouled his man, his player. I think it might be Mitchell Lawson. And so Maidenhead have a free kick, and it's only about 5 yards back from the corner flag, so it'll effectively be set up for as a corner. And there's me complaining about being halfway down the other end, Freddie. I haven't even put my glasses on, so I'll get them ready, and that might bring the players a little bit closer to me and to our listeners. And I think it's Sam Barrett, it is, that stood over it. He's going to send in a left-footed in-swinger. Now I can confirm, glasses are on, it's definitely Sam Barrett. And Maidenhead players largely at the far post, little bus stop queue. Kev Loco's involved in it. So is Remy Clarima, who also has scored against Aldershot in the last couple of years. Referee blows his whistle. Barrett sends it in. And it goes in, and Maidenhead have got themselves an early lead again. And I'm not even sure if it might have come off an Aldershot Town player. But it's gone in, it's going to count. And here we are, just 4 minutes in. And Maidenhead have done what they always seem to do against Aldershot Town. They take the lead. Maidenhead United 1, Aldershot Town 0.
It's a great ball in from Sam Barrett, and I believe it's Remy Clarima who's met it at the far post with a header. No chance for Geordie Van Staffordshire in goal. It's a powerful header, it's gone straight past him, and it's a brilliant roar from the Maidenhead fans. It's an unfortunate concession of a goal for the shots, but it's happened before. We know Maidenhead are good from the get-go, so now we just need to react.
He was one of those three players in the bus stop queue at the far edge of the penalty area, but he broke forward, got in front of his man on the near post. And Aldershot Town, who in a number of these vital away games against sides in the battle at the other end of the table, have roared into leads and then turned it round. Today they've got to do it the other way. Harries puts his foot through the ball, it breaks nicely for Daly. Daly's quickly tackled by the goal scorer himself, Clarima. Didn't quite have his bearings about him. Ball out to the right hand side to Mitchell Lawson. Nathaniel George has got it on his right, back onto his left. He might make room for us. He actually squares it to the number 27, Charlie Adams, who shoots, and that shot's blocked by Cian Harries, who in the last away game at York put his body in front of 4 shots on that day. And Maidenhead again have started so well. Another ball into the area, it's cleared away by Harries onto the roof of the stand over there on the far side. It's more of a shed, isn't it? More of a concrete shed. Yeah. There's some terracing at the front of it, and I think that concrete shed, as I'm wanting to call it, is actually behind them, isn't it? So they don't even have a roof over their head there. Very little has a roof over its head here at York Road. We fortunately do. At the moment we've got a mix of blue sky, white cloud and grey cloud. If you've just joined us, the shots have gone behind already in the 4th minute. Throw in for Maidenhead now. Headed away by Frost, but it goes behind. And, well, with the best part of 1,000 Shots fans here in attendance, they're in a hushed silence at the minute. They're just picking up the support again now, but they'll be hurting, as will the players. The one thing they surely will have talked about is keeping it tight early on.
Yeah, it's from the get-go, from the misplaced pass from kick-off, Maidenhead counted on us, broke, won a free kick, and from that free kick scored. So it's been a really poor start from the Shots.
Corner then to Maidenhead, in it comes underneath the bar, and it's smashed in again, and it's Clarima again, and this is a shocking start for the Shots. Just 6 minutes in, and history has repeated here at York Road and against Maidenhead as it did earlier in the season. A free kick and a corner. Clarima, Remy on the spot twice in the first 6 minutes. 2-0 Maidenhead.
Again, really poor marking from the shot. Klarima's got the freedom of a 6-yard box to run onto it and just tap it home. no one within 5-6 yards of him as the corners come in.
Don't know how he's managed to get away from the Shots players, but if you thought the start was bad, listeners, it's turned to disastrous, and it's probably only the character of this side who have conceded a lot of goals but still achieved this season, and the memory bank that tells them that against Maidenhead and against Bromley they've done this twice this season and come back to win games. Josh Stokes gets us restarted. We're still only 7 minutes in now, and it is Maidenhead United 2, Aldershot 0. Dagenham and Redbridge have taken an early lead against Boreham Wood. Josh Rees with the goal there, and Chesterfield will have a lot of eyes on them after the title winning party in the week. They're already 1-0 up away from home at York City through Joe Quigley. Here's Harry sending the ball over the top. It's cleared down and away, and they keep it, Maidenhead, and there's a mistimed challenge by Josh Stokes. He puts his foot where he thinks the ball is, but a Maidenhead player just wanted it that little bit more, got his foot there, and he ended up taking the contact. Our referee this afternoon, Paul Johnson, one of the more lenient referees it would seem in the National League this season. 11 games in charge so far, 46 yellows, just the 1 red, so he's averaging around about 4 yellow cards a game, which in this season, Freddie, is quite low. Yeah,
when referees are handing out yellow cards like sweets, you feel like you're going to get a lot more than that. Before yellow cards average is a very low one, considering most are 7 or 8 this year.
Incredible how Maidenhead have this trait about them that they go missing for weeks and then they turn up when they really need to. They've been known in previous seasons to topple back-to-back playoff contenders and then go on a slide for 6, 7, 8 games without a win. Here's another ball forward, headed down by Locko into the path of Nathaniel George. He's just dragging it across the edge of the penalty area now. Barrett's going to send it back in. Van Stappershoef jumps, catches it, and ironic cheers from all sections of the ground, the Maidenhead fans and the Shots fans, because a cross has come in and it hasn't ended up in the back of the net, Freddie.
Yeah, that's a surprise at the start of this game. Both crosses so far into the box have led to Maidenhead goals. It's a good win by Van Stappershoef as well.
This Aldershot brilliant at home and struggling away things really starting to grow legs, isn't it? And especially against sides that are rooted at the wrong end of the table, where they just can't get a foot on it at the minute. There's a late challenge on Stokes from Locko. Nothing given, referee says it's fine. A lot of shouts from the Shots faithful that it should have been something. One thing that's clear already, Freddie, if the Shots are going to get anything out of today, they're going to have to get the next goal, and hopefully sooner rather than later. Kadji with the ball over the top, that should bounce and go all the way through to Craig Ross. Of course, is a familiar name to Shots fans as a former Woking goalkeeper, and he's just the sort of experienced chap that they'll need today. One of the Maidenhead players has gone down off the ball. I think it's Kev Locko, and his Aldershot Town curse has struck again, because he's played every single match of last season for Farnborough, most this for Maidenhead, and yet here he is 10 minutes in against Aldershot and he's gone down and needs treatment. Now, it could be a bit of kidology, couldn't it? It could be we've got ourselves in front, we just need to calm down, take on fresh instruction from the manager. What would the game plan be if we were 2-0 up in 10 minutes? It might change, although why would you?
Yeah, they might have surprised themselves by zooming into a 2-0 lead.
Tell you what we're going to do though, Freddie, because it is 10 minutes gone and we've got a stoppage in play. Let's pay our first visit around the grounds on this Good Friday Sports special. Let's go first of all to Gary Smith, who's watching 7th place Crawley, in the same position but in League 2 as Aldershot before the start of play. Crawley at home to Doncaster. Bet you haven't had 2 goals already, Gary, have you? Thank you very much, Gary. So for our BBC Sussex listeners, Eastbourne, who rooted in trouble at the bottom end of the National League South, 22nd at start of play. They have conceded early on to a Sam Corn Maidstone penalty. Maidstone, of course, at the other end, and that one's going a little bit more with form than this one is. We're about to get back underway, but the ball's with the Maidenhead goalkeeper, so in fact it's going to go all the way through to Jordi van Stappershoef. Worthing, though, for our Sussexers, who started the day in 6th place, have had a better start at Havant and Waterlooville. They have gone 1-0 up early on there, so plenty of goals early on. Ball forward here from the shots. Let's just stay with this before we go over to Tom very shortly at Woking. Here's Beckwith playing it down the line, cut out by Harries, clears it into touch when he had lots of time and space. Nobody told him. He could have brought it down and done what he does, get his head up and look for a pass. Throw into Maidenhead on halfway. Let's go to Tom Mitchell and find out if there's been any goals in Woking against Eastleigh. Throw into Aldershot in the right back position. Thank you very much, Tom. So goalless at Woking. Is another free kick to the home side, given away this time by Hadi Gandour, about 15-20 yards inside the half. There'll be another opportunity for Remy Clarima to come up. Kev Loco's okay, by the way, after his treatment, so I think it might have been the other one I suggested. A little bit of kidology, a little bit of taking the sting out of it, having got the early goals. He's absolutely fine. Okay, let's stay with the action here at York Road, where Maidenhead already lead by 2-0. 2 goals in the first 6 minutes. Memories of the earlier match at the EBB this season. Shots have wrestled the ball back, and they've got it with O'Keefe now. He's brought down by Nathaniel George. Quite a clever foul, because Aldershot had men over on the right-hand side, but they couldn't get it to him. Kaji exchanges passes from the free kick with Jordi van Stappershoef, and he comes forward with the ball now. Very direct up to Daly, takes it on his chest, it bounced off him, and it's hammered forward by Casey Petit. Picked up by Maidenhead though, and Kaji wins it back really well. We will go to Dawkins shortly. We'll just let them describe the goal that's gone in full. Here's Stokes winning the ball. Strong tackle from Ollie Scott, but Clarima wins it, sends it out to the right-hand side, heads it inside to Abrahams. Harry's almost nicks the ball off him, but plays it back to Nathaniel George, who's not really playing out on the left. Daly's won the ball back from Clarima. Clarima's won it back from Daly. Terrific here as Daly wins it again. And Clarima holds him off time and time again. Brilliant from Clarima, who's already staken a claim for man of the match. Harry sends it back over the top, and it's headed back to the Maidenhead United goalkeeper, and that finally gives us a chance to go for the first time today to Chris Baldwin, where I understand there's been a goal between Dorking and Bromley. Let's hope it's for the Wanderers, Chris, and bring us up to date. Thank you very much indeed. So not going too well for our National League sides. Mixed fortunes in the National League South. And it was Ollie Pearce yet again. I think that might be his 35th goal, maybe even 36th of a prolific season for Worthing. Got called up for England C of late. Here's Ollie Scott playing the ball down the left. Well, Maidenhead have come into this game highly charged. They've scored from 2 set pieces early on. And now they're battling for even the 30-60s, Freddie. We barely had much chance to come to you so far, but they've had the dream start, and for the shots, it's the nightmare. Yeah.
Maidenhead have started incredibly well, scored 2 early goals, and they've been all over the shots so far. Aldershot have barely got into Maidenhead's half, haven't tested Craig Ross at all, and the only attention he's got is when Kev Loco's headed it back to him.
Here's Maidenhead holding it up again, battling for their lives, and Nathaniel George goes down, and that's just considered to be a trip. Ball out to the left-hand side. Loco gets there just in front of Gandor, goes back to Ross. Ross clears it forward. That's surely a shove by a Maidenhead player. Not spotted by either assistant referee or referee, even though they're both 10-15 yards away. Is Daly finding O'Keefe. Shots are going to need to not just battle but find quality as well. Glover's pressed by Nathaniel George and is forced backwards to Harries. The sun shining brightly here at York Road, but it's shining down on Maidenhead United at the minute, not Shots. Another high tempo start from Maidenhead, and for the third game running against the Shots, they've scored in the opening minutes. Here's Stokes trying to hold the ball up. Again, it's picked off him by Nathaniel George, who, Freddie, in that game last year and the previous game earlier in the season, has been a real threat for Maidenhead, but usually attacking down the left-hand side. Interestingly, he's not today. He's very central, and Barrett's doing all the work out there on the left.
Yeah, Nathaniel George is a very tricky player. He's come through the ranks at Maidenhead. He's got his opportunity, and he's been almost prolific. He's scored a few absolute worldies that we've seen plastered over internet, and he's a very tricky player. Maidenhead would love to keep their hands on him.
Okay, in comes the ball again. Kadji jumps, can't head it clear. It goes behind the goal. It will be a goal kick to the Shots. And, well, there's just so much deja vu about this. It's unreal, really. Poor old Freddie alongside me, who has seen a Shots win, of course, in commentary at Oxford City a few weeks ago. We'll be getting flashbacks, I'm sure, at the moment to the 0-5 against Fylde, which was his commentary debut. Here's Frost getting the ball. Well, he could have brought it down, but he plays it down the right-hand side. Beckwith heads it forward. It's picked up by Petit. Ends up in touch. Frost has got the ball already. Is it the unlucky White Sox for Shots? Or do we need to look a bit deeper than that? Here's Daly, edge of the area, goes down. Strong challenge, no foul. And the challenge was by Charlie Adams, and he's come off worse. The Maidenhead United central midfielder. He's beating the turf with both feet at the moment, but after seeing Loco go down as we did a few minutes ago and then get up and scamper around absolutely fine, I'm absolutely certain that whether this is genuine or not, Freddie, when the Maidenhead United players at the last stoppage went over to Alan Devonshire, he will have reminded them that at 2-0 up they can kill this game whenever they want.
Yep, with that stoppage being on the 10th minute, this stoppage being on the 20th, is there a pattern starting to start?
We'll see. If somebody goes down on 30 minutes, Freddie, I'll fully credit you on that one. All right, but it's a rather stunned 1,000 or so Shots fans away to our left at the moment, just looking on in almost disbelief. I mean, Tommy Widrington was in charge of that team that went behind 2-0 early on against Maidenhead at the EBB earlier in the season. Even if he doesn't know the story of the last visit here, you would have thought that would have been high on their minds early on, but somehow or other Remy Clarima has managed to wriggle his way free and arrive at exactly the right place at exactly the right time twice. One a header, I think one of them he towed it in, didn't he? But both of them no more than 6 yards out, and by the time he timed the run right and the delivery was right, he could barely miss.
Yeah, both deliveries have been right where Remy Clarima has been stood. He's hardly had to move, he just towed it in, headed it in. That's bang bang 2-0 Maidenhead.
Seen one or two comments on social media about Van Stappershoef not coming off his line. Supporters have to understand that nearly every team sets up against Aldershot, sticks a player on him that doesn't allow him to move. It's because he's got a perceived height advantage, and it's so frustrating. All I think Aldershot can do is get another player in front of him from an Aldershot perspective and hold that other player off so that Van Stappershoef can move. I think it's a little bit harsh to totally put the blame for those 2 goals at his door. Charlie Adams is still receiving treatment, and Maidenhead United, make no mistake about it, listeners, are into full game management mode here. Just 21 minutes in. So a reminder of the other games elsewhere, as we've still got the stoppage here on this afternoon's Good Friday Sports special on BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio Surrey. Is Crawley against Doncaster with Gary Smith and Woking against Eastleigh with Tom Mitchell. Those games are goalless at the minute, but there has been a goal at Dorking. Bromley have taken the lead through who else? Michael Cheek. Ollie Pearce has put Worthing ahead at Havant and Waterlooville, and Eastbourne are 1-0 down at home to playoff chasing Maidstone. Finally, referee deems it was not a free kick, and he's going to give Maidenhead possession. So they've had everything their own way. The 2-goal start, the time wasting, the treatment that remarkably the player's okay. Here's Glover picking the ball up. He's quickly snuffed out by Nathaniel George. And then Maidenhead clear, but only as far as Kadji, who spreads it out to the left side. Poor touch from Ollie Scott though, and the ball pings off his foot and goes all the way backwards. Van Stappershoef feeds Harries, and another Maidenhead United player goes down. It's Nathaniel George. No, I beg your pardon. It's Azare. He's genuinely limping. He's back up on his feet. The ball's in play. And Abrahams has won the ball off of Glover, and he's going to the edge of the area, and he shoots now. And it's saved low down away to his right by Van Stappershoef. But my goodness me, that's got to be the only thing so far, Freddie, that hasn't gone Maidenhead United's way.
Yep, Tristan Abrahams has won the ball well from Ryan Glover. He's broken through, and his shot is just scuffed into the hands of Van Stappershoef.
They've got the ball on halfway now. Lovely turn, silky turn from Charlie Adams, who's just shown the most amazing footwork for a player that's been down receiving treatment for 3 minutes. One smells a rat here, Freddie, but at the end of the day, Aldershot have got to deal with it. Kadji has won the ball. He's running forward. He's blocked. The ball runs free to O'Keefe, who feeds Glover, who's quickly shut down. He feeds Kadji. Kadji's bundled over by Nathaniel George, and Aldershot Town have their first opportunity halfway through the first half to send in, if they wish to, a set piece. They don't. They just want to play it short and keep possession, because they know that Maidenhead, with the likes of Clarima and Loco, have got the height advantage. Another ball through the middle, headed down by Loco, and it finds Nathaniel George. Ball played forward, cut out by Kadji, and falls nicely for Frost. Frost into Glover. Glover on the right wing, turns back inside, finds Daly. Daly tries a ball for Stokes. That's cut out rather easily. Harries, though, will get onto the loose ball. It's one thing resting Tolaj, or having him fresh to come on later on in the game, but the understanding that he has with Stokes is as good as any understanding in the league. Here's a ball played out to the left. Clarima clears it. He gets there in front of Stokes. And it's going to be a yellow card for Mitchell Lawson, who deliberately, after the ball had gone into touch, knocked it 20 yards down the line. And there is the actual proof and the evidence, if we doubted it, Freddie, that Maidenhead United, apart from their fast 2-goal start, are going to be spoilers this afternoon, all afternoon.
Yeah, they're going to try their best to slow the game down. They've done it wonderfully well so far, with 2 suspected injuries and a yellow card for time wasting for kicking the ball down the line.
Here's Ollie Scott picking up the ball from the throw-in, does well, sends it out to Harfield. Harfield with the early ball, cut out by Azare, goes back to Scott. Scott sends in another ball, and Loco just steps in front of Gandor like he was picking cherries off a tree, and the offside flag's up anyway. But you can't be passive in there if that ball comes in, because the Maidenhead United players are not being passive, Freddie.
No, they're attacking everything like it's life or death. Aldershot need to be doing the same. They need to be getting in front of Maidenhead players, winning those first balls, winning those second balls, because at the moment we're 2-0 down. We're still fighting, but we need to find 2 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals to win this game and kill Maidenhead off.
And according to social media, Aldershot are 7-1 to win this game right now. And somebody, believe it or not, has stuck a tenner on. We'll keep that one in our back pocket. Here's Aldershot. Oh, it's great battling from Frost to win the ball. Sends it inside. It's Gandor. Gandor finds Scott on the left. He tries a shot. It comes back to him. Handball not given. Another shot comes in. That's cleared. Harfield's just beaten to the ball by Mitchell Lawson, and the referee Paul Johnson says it's a Maidenhead United throw, and 1,000 Aldershot Town supporters disagree. What did you think, Freddie?
Definitely not a Maidenhead throw. Mitchell Lawson's done amazingly there to con the referee and get a throw for his team.
There is a terrific crowd in here at York Road. It may be one of their biggest of the season. Perhaps the likes of the Oldham and Chesterfield, Southend games aside, where those supporters bring an awful lot. But I think there's an awful lot have come out to support Maidenhead United as well today. And although the stands and the terraces are not deep, they're very well populated. Here's O'Keefe winning the ball, playing it forward to Daly. Plays it inside to Glover. Glover tries to find Frost, but it's cut out by Barrett, who tries a shot from a very long way out. It's just wide. Van Stappershoef was going to grab it, realised he hadn't got the flight of it perfectly, and let it go behind for the goal kick, which he's quickly taken now. Referee Paul Johnson, who's not appeared too fussy about one or two of the challenges so far, decides that he will bring that back to Jordi van Stappershoef for kicking a moving ball. Really was no need for it to be moving. Here's a ball played up to Daly, who plays it straight out to Frost. If he turned, he had 20 yards of space, but again, he didn't realise, or no one told him. There's a poor ball given away by Kaji, cut out easily by Charlie Adams. And then a ball played down the right side from Azare, who struck that fully without any pain or grimacing. But we've seen him limping and crouching down twice in the last couple of minutes. He seems absolutely fine. Maidenhead United, it's their choice to do it. It's their choice to do it, so it's up to the referee to manage that. Kaji plays the ball forward, and Aldershot win the ball. O'Keefe goes down, no foul given. Now it is. Just the 27 minutes gone here, so in a few minutes we will catch up, of course, with our other games. We've already visited them twice this afternoon, and as soon as there's a goal, we'll bring it to you, or news of it. But yeah, just a couple of minutes warning for Gary. We'll go back to Crawley. Ball played out to the left. Scott takes it under control, and the ball's played across the goal, goes behind, and it should be. No, it's not been given as out. Sam Barrett comes forward with it, and all the way back to Van Stappershoef. We'll go a little early then to Gary Smith at Crawley against Doncaster. 0-0 when we last went there. Gary Smith. Ball through the middle. Gandu are battling for it. Sends a cross in. It's easily cut out by Craig Ross. And it's with Craig Ross in goal for Maidenhead at the moment. Brilliant stuff, Gary Smith. And we've got a goal at Woking, so as soon as the ball is in touch, we will, well, it's found touch now. So our first goal of the afternoon has come at Woking, and we will find out who's got it from Tom Mitchell. Another free kick to Maidenhead, halfway inside the Aldershot town half. So Woking have been in trouble at the wrong end of the division. Pulled clear of it lately, but they're not done and dusted yet, and they're 1-0 down at home to Eastleigh. Back here at York Road, Maidenhead United have got another free kick, about 20 yards inside the Aldershot half. Barrett sends it in, and this time Harries gets up and gets a header on it, and it goes away behind for a corner. He got there just in front of Loco. Well-timed jump, good defending from Harries, who, to be fair, has blocked a shot already today, so no criticism aimed in his direction so far. That's what you've got to do. You've got to be bold, you've got to be strong, you've got to stretch every sinew, because that's what these Maidenhead United players are doing. And then when they feel their sinews, they're going down and telling the referee that they're struggling. But that's another matter. The shots have got to deal with everything thrown at them. They'd fully expect that if they were fighting for their lives. They are, but they're fighting for a different prize. Corner comes in from the right. Loco gets his head on it, and it's brilliantly pushed away at his far post by Jordi van Stappershoef. But again, Loco got up. He directed his header towards the far post, and but for the save there from Jordi van Stappershoef, shots will be 3-0 down. Quick word from Freddie Snell.
It's a brilliant corner in again. Loco timed his jump amazingly. Got a great header on it. It's angling towards the far corner, but Van Stappershoef moves his feet well, gets across, and a brilliant diving save down to his right to keep it out.
Corner then to Maidenhead United, already 2-0 up, and shot supporters hearts in mouths every time they send a ball in. This one's headed away again by Harries, as far as Scott. Oh, and then the Maidenhead player just throws himself down. The referee is wise to it on this occasion. It's Mitchell Lawson, and he just gives nothing. He doesn't show anything in his body language. Mitchell Lawson, of course, has already been given a yellow card, and Maidenhead United treading a fine line here. but they're the right side of it as far as the scoreline is concerned. Daly wins the header, heads it on to Gandour. Gandour can't get contact on it. Ross clears it forward only as far as Tyler Frost, takes it down on his chest, plays it down the right for Gandour to run onto, and Sam Beckwith takes no chances. If you weren't with us just before the start of play, about 10 minutes before kick-off, Lewis Kinsella, the former Shots captain, who's not involved in the matchday squad today, went by to acknowledge the Shots fans who acknowledged him as well. A lot of love for the club still. It hasn't worked out for him here at Maidenhead United, as it didn't at Wealdstone before that. And here's Stokes squaring the ball across. Good bit of play into the area, but cleared away by Clarima. Another cross comes in. That one's cleared away by Casey Petit. And Kaji battling away over on the left-hand side with Tristan Abrahams. It eventually goes all the way back to Jordi van Stapperschurf. Feeds it out to Kaji, comes inside, and he's hacked down by Abrahams. And if our producer could just repeat what he said a moment ago when he's got a moment. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Ollie Harfield plays it down the left. Clarima clears it, but only as far as Scott. And again, Clarima's there and gives an offside against Aldershot. The perfect opportunity for us to go to Chris Baldwin to get a little bit more of an update on Dorking against Bromley. Ball's in touch, throw into Aldershot in the right back position. Good pressing from Shots, but Azare recovers. Oh, good block from Gandour. Can he square it inside where Daly's available? Comes back to Daly. Daly onto his left foot, tries a shot. Cleared off the line by Azare. First effort on goal from the Shots all afternoon, and Sedko Azare positioned himself brilliantly as Daly's shot beat Ross, but couldn't beat Azare on the line. And finally, Freddie, Aldershot have themselves a chance. They're giving it away down the left, and there's a challenge that's going to lead to a free kick at least, and probably a yellow card as well for Tyler Frost. Over to you, Freddie.
It's a brilliant counter from the Shots. Great tracking down from Hadi Gandour. He's got a block on the clearance, taken a few touches, squared it to James Daly. Credit to Ziko Azari. He's positioned himself incredibly on the line to block James Daly's goalward shot. Maidenhead break quickly, a long ball over to Sam Barrett on the left, a miscontrol by Tyler Frost. Barrett's nicked it off him, he's come inside. Frost has done a cynical foul, taken him out, and now Maidenhead are in a very good position for a free kick.
Another free kick to Maidenhead, listeners. Another opportunity to get it into the box. 2-0 up already from set pieces. In comes this one low, headed away again for Shots by Ollie Harfield. He had to go really low to head it. Sent back in, missed by a lot of people, headed away by Harries, cleared forward by Harfield. Daly presses well, wins it, finds Stokes. Stokes plays the ball into position on the right, which is populated by only one person, Sam Beckwith, and Maidenhead United have got it back again. The ball's in touch over on the far side, and with 36 minutes gone here, it remains Maidenhead United 2, Aldershot Town 0. They've steadied and they've found themselves a first opportunity, but they're still giving away corners and free kicks every couple of minutes at the wrong end of the pitch. Here's Harries stroking it out to the left side, nicely taken by Ollie Scott. He's got Gandour ahead of him, and Scott then, with a simple pass forward to Gandour, just puts it into touch. And what we're seeing, Freddie, let's call it as it is, this is the business end of the season. This is the time for Aldershot Town's players and as a team collectively to show that they've got what it takes. They've done fantastically well all season to be in a playoff position at this point, but it counts for nothing if they don't do the business in these final 6 games. A horrific start to this one, 2-0 down in 6 minutes. That remains the scoreline as O'Keefe just nudges into the back of Charlie Adams, who knows when to go down, and another Maidenhead player goes down on 37 minutes. It's Mitchell Lawson this time, and the referee must smell a rat here. Where are we going next, Mr. Producer? Who are we going back to next? Who are we due to go back to for an update? It's probably Gary again, is it? We'll go to... Okay, we'll go back to Gary Smith, as we missed him out for a good 20 minutes, and my apologies for that. Gary, any further updates on the game between Crawley and Doncaster in League 2?
A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon's game is segregated. Please listen to the announcements given to you by
With Stokes in possession on midfield. He's holding off his man, shrugs him off. Frost plays the ball down the line, which Daly will chase for. And Loco puts into touch. Thank you very much, Gary. So goalless at Crawley in League 2. We'll keep you updated on all our other games this afternoon. Good Friday Sports Special. Not started well for the Shots. They've got an attacking throw in now on the right-hand side, level with the edge of the penalty area. Confirmation Frost was shown yellow. Here is Daly going back to Frost. Frost sends an early cross in. Ross should jump and catch that rather easily, and he does exactly that. He clears it forward down the right-hand side. Brilliantly cut out by Cian Harries. Harries feeds Glover, playing in the centre of midfield this afternoon, and goes back to Kadji. Kadji goes back to Van Stappershoef, and word in from a couple of Shots fans. Mike Brown says it sounds like the streetwise players versus training ground players desperately need a goal back for confidence. Here's Glover sending a lovely ball out to the left to Ollie Scott, sending a lovely cross, half cleared, and it's cleared again to a Maidenhead United player ready to collect it. Charlie Adams plays it forward. It's well, it was nearly cut out by Harries. He gets it at the second attempt and goes back to Van Stappershoef. Just little green shoots in the Shots performance, just now and again, Freddie, but they're having to earn the right here on every pass, on every control, because no Maidenhead United player's going to leave them alone for more than a nanosecond.
Maidenhead are really on it today. They're shutting Shots down incredibly well. Barrett is always running, he's chasing Van Stappershoef down now, but Shots are not getting a second on the ball. They're not having space to turn, not having anything to do with it.
Yeah, that's a bit of an odd one. Maidenhead have cleared into touch. Ball played up to Gandor there. He did a great flick on. There was no one behind him at all, so I don't know. He must have got his bearings wrong there. But to check the postcode, we're at York Road, Maidenhead, and this Aldershot Town team, well, they've gone 2-0 down in 6 minutes, but they have rallied a bit since. Here's Stokes over on the right-hand side. They're going to need the next goal in this game. Is Frost picking the ball up, sending it across, parried clear, only as far as Harfield, tries a shot and lifts it over the stand and onto the roof. Tried to compose himself, tried to get over it. Still yet to score his first Aldershot Town goal. In fact, he's only ever scored one goal in his career, and that was playing in midfield for Dagenham and Redbridge against Ebbsfleet. There's a stat you didn't know, Freddie. Not unless you listened to my interview with him on England Sea Duty the other week.
I did not.
So, yeah, Harfield with just Aldershot Town's second attempt on goal for the afternoon. It's already 1-1 between Solihull Moors and Barnet. That's a scoreline that would probably suit the Shots. By the way, listeners, Boreham Wood, who are in the relegation positions going into today, are 3-0 down at home to Dagenham and Redbridge. Here's Frost playing the ball down the line. Josh Rees has got at least one of those goals, maybe more. Good battle here. Referee trying to allow it to go. Ball played forward. Harries makes sure that Abrahams can't get on it, but the referee accepts the ball was going through to Van Stappershoef anyway, and the Shots come forward. They've had a very settled formation all season. They've had a pretty settled lineup, but one way or another, with international duties and injuries and things, it's been changed a few times of late. Here's a ball played forward. That's perfect for Remy Clemeremer. He'll love that ball, and he just heads it clear. And Maidenhead go back briefly to Craig Ross. He lumps it forward. Kadji wins that one up in the air against Tristan Abrahams, but can only clear it as far as Maidenhead player, who gives it back to him. And now here's Glover picking up the ball and feeding Ollie Harfield, who sends Ollie Scott forward. He can't seem to get out of the back three much today, Harfield, not like he normally does. Something's amiss because, and I don't really understand why, because it's Abrahams up top on his own, isn't it? We called the formation. There's a good control and turn from Daly, and then frankly a really poor pass. Azare leaves it for Ross to come out and get it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with Azare. But you know, we just call what we see, and that referee does the same thing, and at any point if he feels anything warrants a yellow card, he'll give it. He has done so once with Mitchell Lawson. Here's Kaji winning the ball in the air, as he's done quite a lot today, but he can only find a Maidenhead player. They play it up to the left hand side to Sam Barrett, and we'll try and nip in if we can. It's going to be probably 5 minutes left, but so much added time. We'll get word from Tom Mitchell in just a second if we can get Tom. Yeah, Woking against Eastleigh. Against the run of play, Eastleigh took the lead last time we went to Tom Mitchell. Is that still the scoreline, Tom? Good pressing from Daly, almost gets the ball off Azare. There's Frost picking the ball up, but then he's won back by Barrett. Barrett squares it to Chris Smith. Thank you very much indeed, Tom Mitchell. So Eastleigh still ahead there. Not a good afternoon for Woking, Dorking. All shots, all trailing. The other two by 1 goal, shots by 2 goals. Maidenhead having a good spell of play here. They've kept possession well. We go back to Clarima, who plays it straight through the middle. One in the air by Harries, but he can only head it straight to Beckwith. Beckwith picks up the ball, starts a little bit of a run. He's shut down, blocked, comes out to Abrahams. He's going to try a shot. Good block from Ollie Scott. And then another Maidenhead player goes down, but they're still battling for it. And they've won it again inside the penalty area. Lawson Smith's now 1-on-1 against Ollie Scott. Can he go past him? Yes, he can. Can he square it? Yes, he can. It's cleared away right-footed by Harfield. And the follow-up shot from Sam Beckwith is skewed so badly wide that it doesn't even go behind the goal. It goes out for a throw into Aldershot. Freddie, credit where it's due. They can't change the 2-0 scoreline from already being cemented onto this game. But what they can do, Aldershot, is stand up in defence. And they did extremely well there, because although Maidenhead battled and won the ball back a couple of times, they stopped all the key balls into the area.
There's some brilliant blocks there from Ollie Scott and Cian Harries, preventing the ball from properly being stuck to the Maidenhead feet inside the Aldershot box. And a clearance fell to Sam Beckwith, who smashed one straight out to the opposite side of the pitch and maybe went straight out for a throw-in,
which Tyler Frost will take. The other bit of fan interaction we had was from Lewis Davis, who said he's sat in traffic on the A1 at the Angel of the North, and the first half has certainly not helped his mood. One of many stray shots, I'm sure, listening around the country and around the world, is Scott playing the ball down the left to Stokes, who's pretty much thrown to the ground by Remy Clarima on the corner of the penalty area. Shots will have a free kick. Stokes wants to take it quickly. Referee says you must wait for the whistle. He's going to mark out where the kick's being taken. He's now going to go back 10 yards. Kaji's coming up from the back, so is Harries. But they're going to be jumping against the likes of Kev Loco and Remy Clarima. Aldershot, who've conceded twice from set pieces in the first 6 minutes today. Can they find a delivery or a shot? Harfield feints to take it short. Glover takes it in. It's headed away by Charlie Adams, only as far as Ollie Scott. He brings it down, shifts it to Harfield. Harfield to Glover. Glover inside to Stokes, who's got a little bit of space, gives it back to Glover. Glover sends it in. It's half cleared towards touch, but Mitchell Lawson will pick it up. Finds Charlie Adams. Stokes puts his hand on Adams and gives away a free kick, and he needs to walk away. He's picked up so many silly yellows for dissent. Barnet have now gone 2-1 up against Solihull Moors, who of course lost 3-0 in the week. And Dagenham and Redbridge 4-0 up at Boreham Wood, who are in big trouble. Just like our BBC Radio Surrey side Dorking Wanderers, who are entrenched in the bottom now. They're not cut adrift yet, but they are 1-0 down as well against Bromley. One of the sides that prior to kick-off today, Freddie, I wondered if Aldershot still had a chance of catching. Well, on the current score lines, no chance.
No chance at all for the shots for catching Bromley if the score stays the same. what are they, 8-9 points clear of us with about 6 games left. So it's a very steep job for the Shots, but if anyone can, we can.
Yeah, Bromley have been treading water a little bit of late, and that would have been the one hope for Dorking today. They've just won 3 of their last 15 games in the National League. Harfield plays the ball down the line. We've got added time in all the other games first half, and we're good shout here from our producer. I didn't see it, Freddie, don't know if you did, but added time 6 minutes, correct, well done, thank you very much. Good listening skills, everybody else around me. I can tell you that we're a good couple of minutes into them, and here's Sam Beckwith working his way down the left side and finding Sam Barrett. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying he's a Barnet player. He was sold to Barnet, he's back on loan. You wonder if what the terms of that deal is, and once the season's over as a national, normal National League season, can they bring Barrett back for the playoffs, Barnet? Interesting one, that. I'm not sure if they can. I think yesterday was the deadline for all moves. Here's Maidenhead still on the left side, sending in the cross, cleared away by Harries, and it's cleared away forward from Aldershot, and then Handor is left in a heap on the floor by Sam Barrett. Free kick to Aldershot, 10 yards inside their own half. Word in from another stray shot, Gina Bulston. She said, Ellie and I have just tuned in. They're en route to Devon for the week. Didn't you get centre fixture list, Gina? It's not Torquay away, not this season. Right, here's Frost picking up the ball inside the Maidenhead half. Plays it up to Daly. Heavy touch, but he recovers well. Back to Frost. Frost to O'Keefe. O'Keefe to Scott. Runs inside. The overlap's not quite working with Harfield the same. He's still got the ball. Now he goes down and he wins the free kick. It's just as well. Otherwise, Maidenhead would have been 3-on-3 on the counter-attack. Crawley and Doncaster in League 2 has reached half-time now. That one is goalless. We'll hear more on that game from Gary Smith at half-time as Tim Durrans goes around the grounds for their half-time reports. All our 3 National League games are all in added time. And here's the free kick taken out to the left, sent in by Harfield, headed away by Loco, and again he's headed it to an area where a Maidenhead United player has picked it up. And it's Tristan Abrahams, and he's bombing down the left-hand side. Mitchell Lawson is bombing down the right side, but I don't think Abrahams can see him. Aldershot have eventually got players back, and Harries toes it into touch. And for me, Cian Harries probably, and I've not seen replays of the 2 goals, so I don't know if he was culpable at all, but apart from those, he's had a very, very good half, Freddie.
He has had a brilliant half. He's tracked Tristan Abrahams there very well, and he's stuck the ball out for a throw into Maidenhead. And for the 2 goals, not sure who was meant to be marking Clarima, but whoever it was did not do the best job of it.
They've taken the throw. Barrett's on the ball edge of the area, tries a curling shot. It's a little bit too high, comes down off the roof of the stand. So the Woking game has reached half-time. So Woking trailing to Eastleigh. And Gateshead are 1-0 up against Rochdale. And just had a text in from my son, who's up in Newcastle, celebrating his girlfriend's 22nd birthday this weekend, and he's just said that their hotel is right next to the Gateshead International Stadium, and they can hear the crowd roaring. So rather well timed that from Matt, although it's not the news the Shots fans want to hear. Here's Van Stappershoef playing the ball down the middle. Clarima will win that comfortably in the air. Boreham would have pulled a goal back against Dagenham Redbridge, and that one is 4-1 at half-time. It's half-time at... We've got an equaliser for Eastbourne Boris. There's some slightly better news for our BBC Sussex listeners. And Maidstone are also down to 10 men, so fresh hope for Eastbourne. It does look, though, as if Havant and Waterlooville have equalised against Worthing. So just as we got good news for our BBC Sussex listeners, we got some bad news as well. So those games locked level at 1-1, but fresh hope for Eastbourne because Maidstone are down to 10. Dorking and Bromley 0-1 at half-time. Woking Eastleigh 0-1 at half-time. So we've just got a minute or so, if that, here left at York Road, where the Shots have, well, they've got a footing after going 2-0 down in 6 minutes. And for that at least, Widrington, I'm sure, will acknowledge the efforts of his players at half-time. Can't turn the clock back, it's happened. They need to find a way to get at least 2 goals and a point out of this game. Sutton, who have been doing their own fight for survival in League Two. They've got, in the 5th minute of added time, they have taken the lead away from home. So still hope for Sutton that they can survive at this level. They're locked in a battle with the likes of Forest Green and Colchester United at the foot of League Two. Probably 2 of those 3 are coming down. Here's another throw in from Maidenhead, headed away by Frost, helped on by Stokes, half cleared. Glover battles for it. No foul again as the Maidenhead player goes down. Loco. Ollie Scott's got it on the left side, turns inside and then misplaces his pass back. And that is half time. Boos from the Shots faithful away to our left. The Shots in truth have been attacking the end where 1,000 or so Shot fans are, and they've managed just 2 efforts on goal. Daly with a shot cleared, beat the keeper and cleared off the line. And other than that, one pretty poor effort over the bar from Ollie Harfield. So half-time here, with his summing up of the first half, here is Freddie Snell.
Most of the action coming in the first 6 minutes here. Remy Karima heading home in the 2nd minute from a free kick from Maidenhead, and then in the 6th minute doubling his tally and his team's tally with a tap in from 6 yards out again from a corner ball in from Sam Barrett. Shots have got a foothold back in the game. They've had a few attacks, they've had a shot cleared off the line, but nothing's found the back of the net yet. Craig Ross has been very unchallenged in the Maidenhead goal. Van Stappershoff, since those 6 minutes, has been relatively quiet, apart from one great save from Kevin Loco's header, which was creeping in the far corner, and he sprung away to his right-hand side to tip it round the post. Apart from that, not much action here at York Road. Half-time, Maidenhead 0, Maidenhead 2, Aldershot Town 0.
Yeah, and thank you, Freddie. And it remains to be seen as we hand back to Tim Durrans in the studio. Tim, to go around the other grounds. Will Tommy Widrington be tempted, forced, whichever way you want to look at it, to reach for the services of Lauren Tolledge at half-time? I'd go as far as to say, Tim, that if he doesn't come on at the start of the second half, then he must be carrying a little bit of a knock. Half-time here at York Road, in front of 1,000 rather hushed and disappointed Shots fans at the moment. Maidenhead United 2, Aldershot Town 0.
Reminder that after the game, tickets for the match, final game of the season, they are available. 20th of April, 12:15 kickoff. You can purchase Chesterfield tickets between 5 and 5:30 p.m. in Stripes Bar after the game. And
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to.
Well,
yeah.
Are running a
okay.
There will be music reps available after the game to take your booking.
Yeah.
Put your name down, or even better, pay today. £40 for adults, £20.
Right. Okay. Got thumbs up from Freddie. He's heard that. Yeah. No. We'll just curb that slightly. Yeah.
Big thank you.
Bit lenient, bit soft. Yeah. Okay. Nice one. Cheers. All right. Fair enough. Don't.
Place. And our match ball sponsors.
I've been questioning myself, as I mentioned in March. This is why I've come back with the referees. We can only call what we see. The referee is the person to judge. You know what I mean? Yeah, that sort of thing. So they're pushing it, to the wire and beyond. And if they go over the line, then it's up to the referee to take action. You can't really, other than that, criticise Maidenhead in the first half. Would you agree that if he doesn't bring Tolledge on at half-time, then he must be carrying a knock? Yeah, he is out. He's not listening to the team. Word for our online listeners. Strong thoughts from me there at half-time, but they would appear to be concurred, those thoughts. Oh, no, they're all out there. Tolledge is out there, all 5 subs. Sorry, Freddie, I misunderstood. I thought you said he wasn't there. He was the one of the 5 subs I couldn't see at the time. The Aldershot Town bench, Christian Maghomer. He won't particularly fancy this as being his first game back unless he's forced on. Theo Widrington, Kwame Thomas, Lauren Tolaj and Josh Barrett. And Tolaj is taking a full part in the half-time warm-up, pinging balls left, right and centre. So there's nothing wrong with Lauren Tolaj. And hopefully we'll see him sooner rather than later. Tommy Widrington probably, in that case, probably going to give the initial 11, 10 minutes at the start of the second half, if that. But Aldershot need to get the next goal in this game, and unfortunately, listeners, when they do so, if they do so, they're going to be attacking the rather sparsely populated end of this ground, which has only got Maidenhead United supporters. So they're not going to score in front of the Shots fans today. That's a certainty. Okay, Freddie and I are going to take a little bit of a break, just catch our breath, and we'll be back with you in, I guess, about 7 or 8 minutes.
Half-time scores for you from our league, the only league that matters, the Bannockburn National League. Interest at both ends of the table, as it were. It's currently Bournemouth 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 4. Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. Epsom United 0, Southend United 1. Maidenhead 1, Rochdale 0. Hartlepool United 0, FC Halifax Town 0. Kidderminster Harriers 1, Altrincham 1. Oldham Athletic 1, AFC Wild 3. Oxford City 1, Wealdstone 0. Solihull Moors 1, Barnet 2. Woking 0, Eastleigh 1.
Just so you know that I am aware of it, and I want to get it right. Yeah. Cheers. No worries. Still doing a great job though with it. Cheers.
Those who like to keep an eye on the EFL teams locally, it's Reading 0, Northampton Town 0, and Wycombe Wanderers 1, Portsmouth 2.
See you next year.
Next fixture here at York Road will be on Saturday the 6th of April, a week tomorrow. That starts the week, busy week of home fixtures for us, 3 games in 7 days. So it's Saturday the 6th when Barnet are in town. Tuesday the 9th where we entertain Hartlepool United in the rearranged game. And Saturday the 13th when we entertain Gateshead here. So 3 big games in a week. Please make sure you're here to support us for those games. Tickets are available online for purchase. On Monday we head down south to Eastleigh, 3 p.m. kick-off down at Eastleigh on Monday. Tickets are available via the Eastleigh website, I believe, for that fixture.
Not so much for you, but if this kind of situation ends like this today, it's going to be a tough interview for me today. You can't, journalist.
Another plug for the half-time draw number. I'm told I don't say it enough. 01573 01573. For a Maidenhead supporter this afternoon, you can collect from Stripes on the production of that number. If you're one of our followers from Aldershot this afternoon, you can find a ticket. You can speak to one of our stewards and they will arrange for the prize-winning money to be brought over to you.
You just happen to know. We won't call it any more than a knock then, because we don't want opposition players or
On air, keep it. Don't say it, but just going into the interview, just know that's the only reason.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't mean that. It's not so much the team selection, that's up to him. I mean, I may ask him, why, and he may say, but no, it's more about the start. Conceding from 2 set pieces in 6 minutes. Horrible feeling of deja vu when Aldershot get a really, really big day, a really, really big crowd following, home or away. It tends to go wrong.
You know what I think it is? Every time we come to a shithole.
That one's still on. is online, not on the radio. But, one or two people might be. Hang on 1 second. Apologies to our online listeners if you caught any swearing in the background there. It was a very mild one, very, very mild one. And I won't reveal the identity of the person. You may recognise his voice. This is live the whole time, all after this one, online. I think you'll just give them a half-time kick-off. It's not actually technically a swear word, actually. It's
Every time we come to
aesthetically challenged.
no, but the point I'm trying to make is, yeah.
But that's all part and parcel of this league. And Tommy knows that because he'd have been to a lot worse in the league below.
Our performance against Oxford wasn't great.
Nice. But they weren't great, so we got away with it.
We obviously Bishop Stortford. You think so? Yeah. It just, from my own personal opinion, that seems to be the correlation.
Pussy up to the left. Enjoying it? All right. Aldershot, the first team to come out of the dressing room, Tim. Yeah, you're fine. I'll keep you posted. No, absolutely. I'll just keep you posted. And none of the 5 substitutes for our online listeners were called into the dressing room. Van Stappershoef takes his position in the goal, gets a smattering of applause from the Shots faithful. And Freddie, just coming back to you, as Maidenhead come out for the second half as well. Quite apart from just the facts that they're 2-0 down in a game where they're desperate for points themselves, is just such a disappointment to this point at least, and it's not done yet, but to this point at least, as we look to our left and see 1,000 Aldershot Town fans who've turned out in big number and made a lot of noise early on and really got behind the side, but the side unfortunately couldn't deliver.
No, it's been a poor performance from the shots up to this point. The 1,000 shots fans that Aldershot were attacking in the first half didn't have too much to cheer about, not too many chances. But let's hope we can get behind the boys this half, push on for a goal or two, turn this game around to get the 3 points we desperately need.
Both teams out. Referee is just getting to the centre of the circle. I can get going for the online. All right, sorry.
Let's see you at Bell Street. Come on, you Magpies.
Okay, prepare then for second half. Perfect timing again, thank you Tim. We kick off the second half. Maidenhead going down the slope, I beg your pardon, Aldershot going down the slope in the second half. The ball's quickly in touch from half-field. No changes, yeah, we're going down the slope. No changes for either side that I can see at half-time. Maidenhead didn't make one, did they? No, nothing. So Aldershot line up as follows. Van Stappershoef in goal, Harfield, Harries and Kadji the centre-backs. Scott and Frost the wing-backs, O'Keefe and Glover in central midfield. Stokes, who's bombing through the middle now, I beg your pardon, it was Daly, and he's taken down by Zico as there has to be a yellow card. One of 4 players who went down in the first half with injuries, all of which who are still on the pitch, and he has been shown yellow. We'll just give you the facts and we'll let the referee do exactly what he's done there and make judgment. Mitchell Lawson and Zico Azer, both the right-sided players for Maidenhead, are now on yellow cards, something that Tommy Witherington's team might want to exploit. Stokes is playing behind Daly and Gandour. Tolaj is on the bench. I am told that he's probably there not for a rest, but because he had a slight knock in training, hasn't trained much this week, so that's probably the reason. We hope we will see him at some point today. Here's Kadji coming up towards halfway, playing the ball to Gandour, who holds it up and plays it inside to Ryan Glover. Glover, not for the first time today, tries to spread a ball out and it's cut out really well by Mitchell Lawson. It was hit at him, to be fair. Harries recovers well and pokes the ball into touch as Abrahams was looking to get past him. At this point, we've still got bright sunshine here at York Road. It's about 11-12 degrees, probably feels a tad cooler. Plenty of cloud in the sky as well. No rain so far during play this afternoon, but we may well get a dash here and there. Here's Mitchell Lawson going to send in a very deep cross. Van Stappershoef jumps, takes it off the head of Sam Barrett and bowls the ball out to Tyler Frost. Gandour shows for the ball, holds it up, gives it back to Frost, but it's kind of pinged at him. And he's had a heavy touch, has gone forward. Kadji's headed the ball inside, which is the right thing to do because he's found Harfield, and Harfield finds Scott. And that combination on the left between Harfield and Glover is one that the shots are really missing. They've got such an understanding between them, and it's not quite the same with Scott out there. He's working very hard. He's up against Azer now, Azari. He clears the ball forward into touch. Off of Scott, does really well there, the Maidenhead United fullback, and it's a throw in to them. We're going to keep you across all the games this afternoon on our Good Friday Sports Special here on BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio Surrey, and in a few minutes we'll go for our first roundup of the games in the second half. Until then, Freddie Snell and myself will bring you the action here. The ball's bouncing around on the roof of the gantry, which is quite high up, relatively high up. Freddie, any changes for you? I mean, Aldershot certainly controlling possession a bit more. It looks like Maidenhead aren't going to push too ambitiously for a third at this point. They're going to start the second half well, Aldershot have won it down in the final third, so I'll come to you in a minute. Here's Gandour holding it up, but he's had a heavy touch, lost it. Puts a foot in, almost wins it back. It's cleared away. Will bounce over Kadji, who holds, I thought he held a Maidenhead player down, so does the referee. who I think has got most calls right so far this afternoon. I thought Aldershot Town were going to get away with one there, Freddie, but not to be. He saw it. It was well positioned, and he just waited to see if there was an advantage.
Yeah, Kadri's got his arms all over the back of Tristan Abrahams from Maidenhead. Referee's seen it and he's given it. It's one of the easiest decisions he'll give today.
That's Freddie Snell. I'm Rob Warren, listening to BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio Surrey. You can hear the Shots fans trying to rouse their team. Poor free kick from Maidenhead over into the middle of nowhere. Kadji plays it forward. Gandour battles with Loco, but Loco's always going to win that one. He heads it down though to O'Keefe, who treads on the ball and falls awkwardly. Got a little bit of cramp as well, I think. Barrett gets it, goes down the left and then puts a terrible cross-come shot in. Too much adrenaline on that one, too much power. Behind the goal kick to the Shots. And a promising position there, but O'Keefe got it all wrong. But I mean, it can happen to anybody, particularly on a pitch. It's a soft pitch. I spoke to Ollie Harfield before the game, and I did say to the pitch looks nice. He said, yeah, a lot of them do, but it's very, very wet, very soft. I was never really in doubt looking at it, but and it hasn't cut up too badly, but you can see it's a bit squidgy, can't you?
Yeah. There's been a lot of rainfall in this area in the last few days, but the pitch was held up really well and it's looking good. And at the moment, the game hasn't been too affected by it.
Gandour can't quite beat Loco again in the air, and again, ball comes through to Loco and clears in front of Gandour. Ball played forward, nicely taken by Stokes, but taken off him by Barrett, and he lifts the ball over the top for Mitchell Lawson to chase. Out on the right-hand side to go one-on-one against Ollie Harfield. Harfield holds him off initially, positions himself really well. Maidenhead fans want a foul, and then he nibbles again, Harfield, and this time they do give the foul. And this is the beginning of the issue that Aldershot have got, you might say throughout the season, but particularly at the start of this game, in giving away set pieces. You can't concede from a set piece if you don't give it away in the first place, Freddie.
Yeah, it's a cheap one there for Ollie Harfield. He's battled well, he's won it, lost it again, and then he's just taken one too many little nibbles at Mitchell Lawson, and he's gone down under the pressure. It's a really good position for a ball in from Maidenhead, which Barrett looks like he's going to swing in.
More bad news for Shots. Altrincham have gone 2-1 up away at Kidderminster. So Gateshead are winning, Altrincham are winning. In comes the free kick from Barrett, headed away by the man who gave the free kick away, Harfield, so he's back in credit with that one. Then a pass out to the left, can't be controlled by Ashley Nathaniel George, goes into touch, throw into the Shots, which Frost is coming over to take. Ref says don't go any further. Frost takes 2 or 3 more steps, plays it up to Gandour, plays the ball down the line. Daly goes in bravely. Kadji clears the ball. You probably heard it thud off the chest of Sam Barrett, who doesn't flinch. I bet that hurt, but he's not showing it. Frost down the line. Daly battling away. Clarima will let that run all the way through to Craig Ross. And in Clarima, Loco and Ross, they've got 3 vastly experienced heads, haven't they, Freddie? That Aldershot have got to try and expose somehow, some way, if they're going to get anything out of this game.
All 3 of them are relative legends at various clubs throughout this league, and they've got a vast amount of experience, all reaching the prime of their careers, you could say. Ross with a lot of history against Aldershot, Loco with history at Aldershot, and here come Maidenhead building.
Down the right, their left's Aldershot Town's right. Nathaniel George turns inside. Can he find Abrahams here? He can. He sends it to Azare, who's thread it out further wide to Mitchell Lawson, and then a cross comes in from Adams. Barrett's got it in front of goal. It's a heavy touch though. He's brought it under control and then cleared it away, and that's poor. Stokes holds it up, turns his man, slips. Well, he should slip the ball to Glover, but he delays, and then eventually he does play the ball. Glover skips inside. Great news for Worthing. They've gone 2-1 up away from home at Havant and Waterloo Villa, and it's Aldershot Town lonely. Tommy Willard who's got it. There's a ball falling nicely for Stokes. Edge of the area into Gandour. Tries a shot, blocked by Loco. Behind for a corner, and Aldershot Town, well, just their 3rd effort on goal for the afternoon, Freddie.
It's brilliant build-up from the Shots, pouncing on a misplaced touch from in their defence. Josh Stokes living it through to Hadi Gandour, who saw the white of the post in his eyes. His shot was well blocked by Kevin Loco, behind for a corner for the Shots,
which Ryan Glover has gone across to take. He's going to take a right-footed outswinger unless he plays it short to Stokes, which is what he does. Gives it back to Stokes. Stokes ball into the penalty area. Another 1-2, and it's cut out by Azare. He was looking for Stokes, but Azare got there first, and he's played it off Glover. And it goes behind the goal for a goal kick to Maidenhead. A quick run through the other scores in the National League, and then we'll get round the grounds. Borehamwood 1, Dagenham or Redbridge 4, Ebbsfleet 0, Southend 1, Gateshead 1, Rochdale 0. Hartlepool Halifax is still 0-0. That's encouraging news for Shots. Kidderminster 1, Altrincham 2 is not good news. Oldham 1, Fylde 3 is very good news. And Aldershot might actually get away with defeat today and still stay in a playoff position with 5 games left. Oxford City 1, Wealdstone 0. Solihull Moors 1, Barnet 2. Woking 0, Eastleigh. Well, we're going to go up for an update on that one in just a minute, beg your pardon. York 0, Chesterfield 1. Here's Maidenhead winning a free kick on this left-hand side, some 40 yards or so, and a yellow card for Cian Harries. What do you think of that one, Freddie?
Tristan Abrahams was just getting away from him, so I can see where the referee's got his mind made up from. It's a brilliant touch through from Abrahams, and Cian Harries has done what he needs to do just to prevent the attack.
All right, we'll just get this free kick then for Maidenhead, who've got a set piece, and if they score from a third one, they might well have put this game to bed, even though there is still more than half an hour left. And then we'll go to Crawley. Here's Barrett with the left-footed ball in. It's over everybody. Clarima's chasing it. I don't know if he'll get there. He does, actually, does really well, but then Glover picks it up and he fouls Glover. So the perfect opportunity at 2-0 Maidenhead here to go over to get news, and we might even get the latter part of the description of it, because it's literally just gone in the net. The first goal of the afternoon, Crawley against Doncaster. Gary Smith. Is Mitchell Lawson going down the right side, tries to get the cross in. Corner to Maidenhead for the benefit of our online listeners. Corner then to Maidenhead. It's going to be taken by Charlie Adams, right-footed, an out swinger. Loco's up from the back, Clarima's up from the back, comes in underneath the bar. Thank you very much, Gary. Back here at York Road, Maidenhead out of the corner. Van Snapperschurf has snaffled it, and his kick bounces once and goes away down the slope and all the way through to Craig Ross. So something about Was. I don't know why Ross that makes me say Was. I don't know why. You may know. If you know, you know. High time we caught up with Tom Mitchell at Woking. Woking against Eastleigh. It was 1-0 to the visitors at half time. Any change, Tom Mitchell? For the benefit of our online listeners, Tollage is getting ready to come on. Throw into Aldershot on halfway. Thank you very much indeed, Tom. So still Woking 0, Eastleigh 1. Succession of throw-ins to Aldershot ends now with a turnover of those decisions. A throw-in to Maidenhead, 10-15 yards inside the Aldershot town half. We'll get an update from Chris Baldwin shortly, but for the benefit of our radio listeners now, we can see Lauren Tollage stripped and ready for action here at York Road, where Maidenhead lead by 2-0. Froster's won the ball, plays it off of Barrett into touch for a throw-in to Maidenhead. We're 2 minutes or 1 minute away from the hour mark here. Harries, recently booked, clears it forward. It's cut out by Mitchell Lawson. He positions himself so well every time. Running to the edge of the penalty area here. Shot comes in. Deflection on it, I think, and nicely parried away at his near post by Van Stapperschurf, who may arguably have done more for the opening 2 goals, but he's produced 2 fine saves since. Freddie Snell.
Yeah, that one was a difficult one for Van Stapperschurf. The shot coming in looked like it was going low. It spun off an Aldershot defender and went high, and Van Stapperschurf readjusted well to pounce on it and smother it away for a corner kick.
Notice for the spectators on the fence near T-bar 2. please get down from the fence immediately for your own
Corner then to Maidenhead. Sam Barrett's going to take it left-footed. Can they extend their lead here? Double-fisted away by Van Stappershoef. Daly's picked the ball up, exchange passes with Stokes. The return pass wasn't a good one, to be fair, from Stokes. And then Daly lunges in and gives away a silly free kick 5 yards inside the Aldershot Town half. And the stoppage in play might indeed be the opportunity for Aldershot Town to make a change. While they prepare for that change, we can tell you listeners it's definitely Tolaj coming on. We'll let you know who's going off in a minute. But let's go in the meantime to Chris Baldwin for his first update of the second half. Dorking against Bromley, 0-1 when we last came to you. Chris, any change? Just for our online listeners, it's Ollie Scott that's gone off. So we're going to see Ryan Glover now at left wing back, Josh Stokes into central midfield alongside O'Keefe, and Tolaj in the number 10 position, Ware in the number 9. Free kick from Maidenhead into the area. A little flick on, and Van Stappershoef just gets there in front of Abrahams. Thank you very much indeed, Chris Baldwin. So all three of our National League sides trailing at the moment on this Good Friday Sports Special. It's worth reminding you that there's a long way still to go, and of course none of our three National League sides have scored yet. It's still 1-1 in the National League South between Eastbourne and Maidstone. And we said that Maidstone were down to 10 men in the first half. Eastbourne Borough are now down to 9 men. So 1-1 there, a game of attrition. But Worthing, the one bright hope for us this afternoon, the only side in our patch winning. 2-1 up at Havant and Waterlooville. And there's a strong foul by an Aldershot Town player. The referee's going to have a word with Kaji. It's Nathaniel George that's gone down. Kaji may... 3 or 4 players involved in that. They all wanted it. Kaji may get a talking to. He may get a yellow card. Let's see what happens. What did you think, Freddie? Nail your colours to the mouth. Just a free kick or a yellow?
I believe it's just a free kick. He's just mistimed his tackle. O'Keefe was there on top of him as well, so O'Keefe might have fallen on him because Kaji seemed to just go through all 3 of them. It looks like a yellow card has been produced for Dylan Kaji.
Well, I'm not sure if I quite made the point or not, but I said Worthing the only side in the patch that are willing, and it was Aldershot Town's lonely Tommy Willard who put them ahead, as I told our listeners about 10 minutes ago. But just a reminder, because we need to find the positive today, and that's it. Tommy Willard scoring on loan for Worthing to keep them cementing their playoff place in the National League. Perhaps the best news for Aldershot Town this afternoon in the National League is at the moment Halifax are drawing 0-0 at Hartlepool and Oldham are losing 3-1 at home to Fylde. As a result of that, somehow, some way, Aldershot may leave York Road today with defeat, but still be in the playoffs. Oldham are not just trailing 3-1 at home to Fylde. They've now had Mark Kitchen, the left back, sent off as well. So Aldershot may be getting out of jail free this afternoon, but they're going to need to do a lot better when they come up against another team fighting for their lives on Monday in another game you can hear live on BBC Radio Sussex and Surrey, or definitely Surrey, with myself, with Steve Gibbs, and for the first time I'm going to mention this, and with the former Aldershot manager and Dorking assistant manager, Ross McNeely. He'll be joining us in the commentary box. Here's Sam Barrett squaring it across brilliantly deflected away by Van Stappershoef as Mitchell Lawson was coming in, and whatever is blame or responsibility in those 2 opening 6-minute goals for Maidenhead, Van Stappershoef has been superb ever since, and is single-handedly probably, Freddie, the reason why Aldershot haven't conceded again.
Yeah, it's a brilliant parry from Van Stappershoef, a brilliant ball across by Sam Barrett. He smashed it across, a lot of power on it, and Van Stappershoef's got a really strong hand to deflect it out of the path of Jaden Mitchell-Lawson, who was steaming it at the back post, as tap home for Maidenhead's third.
He throws it in, Mitchell-Lawson, to Barrett. Harfield shutting him down as he gets it back now. Tries to get his cross in, it's well blocked by Harfield and is cleared out of the ground, actually. It just thuds into him. Okay, and it'll be another throw then to Maidenhead, who've got the territory they want. They've certainly got the scoreline that they want. Tolaj is on, he's into the fray, but he's playing in the number 10 position behind Gandour and Daly. Maidenhead using every trick in the book here just to run down the clock a little bit. Unfortunately, Maidstone United have gone behind, have taken the lead, at Eastbourne now. Eastbourne down to 9 men, Maidstone down to 10. And here comes Aldershot. O'Keefe putting his foot through the ball. Daly jumps and knocks it into the path of Gander, who sends it out to the right side for Tyler Frost. He's into the penalty area, squares it, and it's cleared up and away by Clarima, who has been the man in the right place at the right time all afternoon. Bit of defending for him there. Ball played back across from Aldershot, and Craig Ross gets the ball, and even as early as the 64th, 65th minute, decides to go to ground with it when he gets it. Who can blame him? Freddie Snell.
It's a great break from the shots. Brilliant ball out to Tyler Frost, who I thought would take a touch and then strike at goal. But he does the unselfish thing and tries to play the ball across to the attacking shots players. And it's snaffled by the Maidenhead defender out for a throw-in. Played into Hadi Gandor, and he's put it straight into the arms of Craig Ross in goal.
Here's Tolaj picking the ball up after good work in the midfield to win the ball back for shots. Feeding Glover on the left-hand side. He's getting down the left now. Stops back on his right. Will he put it in? Will he come back with a pass? No, he's just running around the players. He's still got it now. He sends it in. Ball for Stokes inside the area. Touches the ball off a Maidenhead player. It goes behind for the corner. Stokes goes tumbling down. I don't think he appealed for a penalty. It would have been embarrassing if he did, but better from shots. The earlier they can score, if they score, Freddie, the easier it's going to be to get back and get something out of this. Stokes is going to take the corner kick. He's got Glover there for company. They haven't sent in the corner long as yet, and referee wants a word with pushing. And it suits Maidenhead, doesn't it? If they do a little bit of pushing and attract the referee over, that's absolutely perfect for them. It's all a part of the game. Some call it professionalism, others call it gamesmanship, but Maidenhead United are adept at it. They have to be adept at it with their sparse resources. Stokes sends it back in, it's half cleared, it's behind for another corner. And a reminder that Eastbourne, Doncaster are ahead 1-0 at Crawley, but they're down to 10 men. And I'll bring our listeners and producer up to date with the news that Eastbourne Borough have sadly gone 2-1 down at home to Maidstone. Eastbourne 1, Maidstone 2, Eastbourne 9 players, Maidstone 10. Here's a ball into the area, knocked down to the edge where Tolaj picks it up. Twists, turns, but he's double marked. And then Maidenhead clear the ball forward, and it's Abrahams up against Frost. He holds it up, goes back to Nathaniel George, who's bombing forward, squares it to Barrett. Barrett gets it on the edge of the area, tries a shot. It's well blocked by Kaji. It's spinning viciously. Barrett takes it down nicely. He's along the byline. He's going to square it across, and it goes right agonisingly for Maidenhead in front of Abrahams and out for a throw-in on the far side. Barrett could do no more. It is a throw into Aldershot. They're going to make another substitution, and it is Kwame Thomas who is going to come on. And Tyler Frost, who is on a booking, is going to go off. James Daly's taken on board fresh instructions, and I suspect that's because he is going to go to right wing back. We'll see where he runs as he comes back, but Kwame Thomas comes on with information to his teammates about a change in formation for Aldershot Town. Freddie, you and I'll see if we can spot it. But we're in the business end of the season. 6 matches left, including this one, 5 after. Here's Glover tracking back. But we're heading towards the business end of this match now as well. Here's a shot from distance from Charlie Adams, which is over the bar. So we are in the 70th minute here, 20 to go plus whatever referee Paul Johnson adds on. Maidenhead still lead by the 2 goals they scored in the first 6 minutes, both from set pieces, both from Remy Clarima. So we're going to go back now to Gary Smith for an update on Crawley against Doncaster. I believe Doncaster are still winning, Gary, but maybe a man down. Oh, okay. All right, no worries. Lovely, thank you. Here's Aldershot taking a throw, losing the ball, prodding it into touch. O'Keefe it is that does it. And we will go to Woking and Dorking very soon. The only good news we've got today has been increased for our BBC Radio Sussex and Surrey listeners, and that's Worthing now 3-1 up at Havant and Waterlooville. And there's thank you very much indeed, Gary. There's a flick on. Daly's running onto the ball in the edge of the area, has one touch, that's a heavy touch. Goes all the way out to the byline and he can't keep it in, and it's a goal kick. And the ball's just run away down the slope. But he was in there. He needed to have a touch and a shot, really, Freddie. A wasted opportunity for the shots, and you spotted something going on away to our left.
Yep, the two sets of fans are getting at each other a bit. Both chanting at each other, creating a hell of an atmosphere here. But a great chance for James Daly there. A brilliant flick on from Kwame Thomas, set him free. He's breaking into the left-hand side of the box, and just a heavy touch. If he got the touch right, he would have been on point to get a great shot off and hopefully bring the shots back in the game.
All right, the reason for the trouble over on the far side is there was no man's land between the Maidenhead and Shot supporters. Harries goes back to Van Stappershoef here. High time that we caught up with our other two National League games this afternoon. Both the teams at home, Woking and Dorking, and both of them trailing by a goal to nil. But hang on, there's an offside. No, it's not given for Maidenhead. Nathaniel George nips inside, carries on, goes down, and the referee gives a penalty to Maidenhead. The ball was clearly out of play for me, not given. He skipped inside. The penalty's been given here, and Maidenhead have a chance to put this game to bed. I've got no strong thoughts on the penalty decision. It's a yellow, a second yellow for Kaji. It's turning into disaster for the Shots. I can understand why he's unhappy, but he's gone. He's been sent off the Bristol City loanee, and I'm pretty sure that video evidence will show the ball was dragged out of it was over the line by Nathaniel George, but it matters not because the officials didn't give it. And Charlie Adams here at York Road is going to have the opportunity to probably put this game to bed. Van Stappershoef, who's been superb since those two early goals were conceded. Charlie Adams is going to step up right-footed here with a chance to put Maidenhead out of sight probably and pull away from trouble at the bottom end of the National League. In the 73rd minute, Adams steps up and Van Stappershoef gets a hand on it, but he can't keep it out. 3-0 to Maidenhead here. We'll get Freddie's thoughts when we come back, but high time we go for an update, and I believe there's been another goal at Dorking. So let's go to Chris Baldwin at Dorking against Bromley. Thank you very much indeed, Chris Baldwin. Let's go immediately to, as Maidenhead are still celebrating, they're taking as long as they possibly can. Of course they would. Let's go to Tom Mitchell and see if Woking can provide any better news for our region. Woking against Eastleigh. Tom Mitchell. Thank you very much indeed. So Woking 1-0 down at home, Dorking 0, Bromley 2, and here at York Road is the 3-0. It's 3-0 to the home side, who are good value, to be fair. They've stopped Aldershot really well to date, and they've used every means possible, some legal, some not, perhaps contentiously. That's a matter of opinion for the referee, who has booked 2 of their players. Freddie, finally I can come to you for your thoughts. Basically, 2 questions. Was the ball still in play or not? And secondly, was it a penalty?
I couldn't see if the ball was in play or not, but the penalty, it seemed a soft one. But actually Nathaniel George has done really well to skip inside Kaji. He's brought the contact if there was any, and he's done himself a really good job of getting a penalty.
Oh, terrible clearance from Harries, and he's found Mitchell Lawson, but he stands up well and wins the ball back well. O'Keefe's won it as well and shows a lovely bit of skill to come away from the ball, and this shot side won't give up, however desperate the situation looks. Daly's pushed it past his man. Can he get onto it again? No. Azari's got it, and then Daly goes down and wins the free kick for the Shots. They've not had a lot from the referee this afternoon. Aldershot are going to make another substitution. It's going to be Christian Maghomer who's going to come on, and I'm not sure who's going to be spared. Just prior to the sending off, Freddie, Aldershot, we worked out the formation, didn't you? 4-2-4. Now they're a player down, so it can't be that. Gandor's gone off. Maghomer's gone on. That will release Glover from the temporary position as the right centre back that he's in. And Aldershot Town have a free kick, and my goodness me, we've had some entertainment in this National League season. Maidenhead 3, Shots 0. Aldershot have a free kick though, Harfield to take, and the referee blows his whistle. In comes the ball, headed away by Barrett, I think, at the near post, only as far as Tolaj. He turns, and then the ball's taken off him by Abrahams. He bombs forward, but Harfield should win the ball off him, and he does, and feeds Glover. Glover skips inside, can't see a man over, but eventually spreads it to Harfield. Harfield sends it quickly out to the left side where Stokes picks it up. Worthing have got a fourth. Here's Stokes, edge of the area, tries a through ball to Tolaj, but it doesn't come off. It's well read by Maidenhead, who come away with the ball now with Ashley Nathaniel George. Feeds Mitchell Lawson. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 armed police now coming out just to position themselves where the stewards are trying to position themselves between the Aldershot Town fans and the Maidenhead fans. There was no gap between them, and I think some of the gesturing and the banter, whatever you want to call it, between them. Oh, Abrahams goes down, tripped on the edge of the penalty area by Cian Harries, and referee Paul Johnson blows the whistle and gives another penalty to Maidenhead, who are having a game beyond their wildest dreams here. Another penalty, and when it goes wrong this season for Aldershot Town, it tends to go spectacularly wrong. And hang on a minute, the referee's now shown a red card to Christian Maghomer, who's come over, shown dissent and been sent off. And Aldershot Town are down to 9 men, and Maghomer, who's barely touched the ball for Aldershot Town in the whole season, has now been sent off. Straight red from the referee. And one wonders, as Kaji has been sent off and Maghomer finally comes in, he's been sent off. Thank goodness, Freddie, that Haji Manoga's back and available on Monday. O'Keefe appeals to the referee, who is having absolutely none of it. Harry's accused of the penalty. Referee now explaining to O'Keefe his decisions. I'm sorry, I don't know what he said, Maghomer, but it had to be too strong. Referee's shown red, and he's been watching all season. He must know, Christian Maghomer, that you can't spare, you can't strongly appeal. Meanwhile, Aldershot, who had a half chance to get back in this 3-1, now face a second penalty. Charlie Adams is going to step up again. He went to Van Stappershoof's right with the first one. Van Stappershoof got a hand on it, but he couldn't keep it out. What's he going to do this time? He goes the other way. Van Stappershoof half falls to his right. The ball's in the net. Adams has a double. Clarima has a double. And it is Maidenhead United 4, Aldershot Town 0. Freddie Snell.
It's again another cheap penalty for the Shots to give away. Just Abraham's clips, he came into the box. Maghomer too strong of his complaints to the referee. Charlie Adams has Panenkered it down the middle, sent Van Stappershoof to his right hand side. Maidenhead 4-0 up. It's a very steep mountain to climb now for the Shots, if there is still any competition in this game. Shots down to 9, Maidenhead 4-0 up. What a day to be a Magpie supporter.
Yeah, we're just in the 81st minute here. Ironically, well, let's get these substitutes done. Tristan Abrahams, his last action this afternoon is to get pulled down for a penalty, right on the corner of the penalty by Harries. In fairness, Freddie, we're nearest to that corner of that penalty, or rather of the 4 penalty corners, it's nearest to us. Probably need another look at it. I thought the referee was just going to suggest that Abrahams was faking it, but there obviously was contact. He was pretty well positioned, the referee. He had a better view even than yours and mine. But quite aside from that, Christian Maghoma, only just starting finally his competitive Aldershot Town career, has been sent off within the first 5 minutes. I don't even know if he'd touched the ball. He didn't need to get involved. That's complete and utter stupidity. The substitutions for Maidenhead, I'll give you confirmation of those just shortly. And then what we will do very, very shortly, because this as a rubber is dead. Aldershot just need to make sure they don't have any more players sent off that won't be available on Monday. 4-0, 2 penalties from Adams, 2 goals in the first 6 minutes from Remy Clarima, and that's it. I'm afraid for our radio listeners, if you want to hear continued commentary of this game, then you need to tune in online to BBC Sport. For now, we're going to switch games live on the radio, and I'm going to hand over to Tom Mitchell, where Woking are trailing by just the 1 goal at home to Eastleigh. Over to you, Tom. Throw in to Aldershot, I beg your pardon, to Maidenhead. In amongst the Aldershot Town fans. An horrific afternoon for everybody connected with shots. It was bad enough at 2-0. It's now 4-0, and 2 centre-backs, or players that have been playing centre-back, sent off. And they're down to just 3 for Dorking. And there's a ball sent in from Barrett, which was miscued, and it went behind. But I tell you what, Fred, it wasn't behind by much. And Van Stappershoof's goal was unguarded. Yeah. If he'd actually, I don't know if he meant that. It looked like a miss hit, but it actually sliced, and it very nearly sliced in the goal. Yeah. And and I was going to say everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, but that didn't.
Thank the Lord, because if that had gone in, a 5-0 Maidenhead, it's a horrific day for Aldershot as it is, but if that had snuck in the near post, and that would have been even worse. It nearly fooled me. I thought it was creeping into the near post. Fortunately, it didn't. But it seems to be a bit of team news. Kwame Thomas has slotted into centre-back. And now a 4 at the back for the shots, 4 in midfield, and Laurent Tolaj up by himself. Not 4 in midfield, 3 in midfield.
Just 9 players left on the pitch, and Maidenhead's task from this point in is quite simple. Go and improve your goal difference if you can. They're going to get 3 points this afternoon. With the change in their goal difference, it might as well be worth 4. They're going to pull clear of trouble. Aldershot, meanwhile, somehow, some way, may, and I do say may, be lucky enough to stay in a playoff position, because Halifax aren't just drawing at Hartlepool now. They're 1-0 down, and Oldham are 3-1 down against Fylde, and unthinkably for those 3 sides, for Oldham, for Halifax and for Aldershot, they're all trailing today. Here's Van Stappershoef clearing his lines. And the real winners today are Altrincham and Gateshead. They're both ahead. They're in 4th and 5th place as the live league table shows. And both of them in the last week or 2 have been outside the playoff positions. They will be cock-a-hoop when they come off, their supporters and their players, and they see that Halifax, Oldham and Aldershot are all fluffing their lines this afternoon. At the other end of the table, well, it's absolutely chaotic, but what we do know is it's not good news for Dorking. They're 2-0 down at home to Bromley, and they're fast disappearing. 5 points adrift now with just 5 games left after today, unless they come back from 2-0 down at home to Bromley. I think only Aldershot have done that this season. Harfield's down by the corner flag. He's lost out to Azare. Plays it inside, it's cleared as far as Harries. He sends a ball in, that's headed down and away to Barrett. And Aldershot need to make sure that physically and mentally they get through the rest of this game, because when they get to the dressing room, Freddie, I know Widrington will say he doesn't care about other results, but their situation in the playoffs will be no worse today if Halifax and Oldham, the only two sides that could jump in and overtake them, both lose. A crazy afternoon in a crazy season in the craziest league that I know. Mike Brown says terrible discipline, the team's imploded, excellent coverage, egg and chips for me now. Hopefully Monday will be better. I've been harping on and on and on in commentary about Aldershot's discipline. I said so many times at some point it's going to come and it's going to bite them on the derriere. I think we can say that. It has done, Freddie, in several places.
It certainly has. 2 red cards for the shots this afternoon. A flurry of red cards throughout the season as well. And is the business end of the season when Aldershot need players available. And at the moment we're not getting those players available because they keep getting sent off.
They have the ball in their own half. The odd thing is I think we're going to end up with loads of added time today and nobody wants really or needs it. Maidenhead have got the game won. They've got another game on Monday. Aldershot, you'd like to think it can't get much worse other than the goal difference, which, let's face it, they were never relying on anyway. No. But they're potentially, as the other scores stand, still going to be in a playoff position with whatever it is, -5, -6 goal difference. What's the referee spotted here? An offside against Aldershot. Tollage, I think it was. Here's the attendance.
641, 2641. Thank you very much.
Well, they've not announced the Aldershot supporters' attendance. We know it's close to, if not just over 1,000. 2,641 here. And I don't have the stats in front of me. So perhaps somebody who's listening, who acknowledges as I do that this game is done, can have a little look and see if it is Maidenhead United's biggest crowd of the season. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
No.
Here's Zico Azare spreading it across to Kev Loco, who went down with a knock in the opening 5 minutes today, and I wondered if his Aldershot Town curse had restruck. Here's Stokes winning the ball, feeds O'Keefe. O'Keefe protects it, comes away with it, and then plays it down the line. Did it come off of a Maidenhead player? No, it didn't. It's into touch. It'll be a throw-in to Maidenhead. And, well, for Aldershot, they've got to do exactly what the managers always say, dust themselves down and go again on Saturday. And if they're lucky, very, very lucky, they'll still be in a playoff position and have the opportunity to strengthen their position against Dorking.
Monday is a crucial game for the Shots. Dorking are suffering in this league, and hopefully the Shots can pull up a better performance than today, because it can't get much worse, and get a much needed 3 points out of that game and properly try and secure a playoff place, which our fans so very dearly deserve from the years of suffering that we've had as well.
Free kick from Van Stappershoef, taken outside of his area, goes straight through, all the way through to Craig Ross. And Tommy Widrington, I'm sure, has brought teams to York Road before. He must know about the slope. That's just a complete and utter waste of a goal kick. I mean, having said that, of course, he wouldn't have been expecting to take that Van Stappershoef down to 9 men, would he? So he's probably thinking, I'll just get as much distance as possible. Towering headed winner from Kwame Thomas, who's doing a job here as a centre-back alongside Cian Harries. Glover's practically a right-back. Harfield's left-back. O'Keefe, Stokes and Daly battling away in midfield with Tollage on his own up front. Here is Daly finding Tollage. He's fouled and goes down. And bizarrely, you might see Aldershot Town try and do a little bit of time wasting here. 4-0 down because they're down to 9 men. And listeners, I'm casting my mind back to some of the adversity and some of the gallows humour we've shared in the past. The one that I always remember was the 8-2 defeat up at Chester, where we had more interaction than ever before. Was that a yellow card shown?
A yellow card for Laurent Tollage for some reason.
Well, referees probably asked him the question, are you going to get up or do you need treatment? And he's probably said he doesn't need treatment, but he has gone down. And one wonders what his little knock was in the week that kept him on the bench today, because I'm wondering if he's just had a knock on the same place. He's limping very gingerly away. And I said it might not get worse for Shots today. It will have got worse if Lauren Tolaj is not able to finish this game or play again on Monday. He's come on with a brave heart today, wanting to improve Aldershot's position. Ball's played out to the right side. Glover's got it. He's got Barrett for company. He's trying to run it off Tolaj. But if he has to come off, they're going to go down to 8 men for the remaining few minutes of this match, plus whatever's added on. And Aldershot have done really well to actually keep possession for as long as they have. We're in the 90th minute. Keep an eye on the fourth officials board, Freddie, because that's going to go up very soon. Here's Daly scampering away on the left-hand side. Harfield's making the overlap. The ball's cut out again by Zico Azare, who's been superb today, other than his faking. Oh no, that was Nathaniel George, I beg your pardon. They got similar haircuts. Maidenhead to put the ball in touch. It's the referee's going to go over and show a card to somebody on the bench. Let's see who it is. It's Tommy Widrington. He doesn't know why he's been shown it. Another yellow for Tommy Widrington. And if Aldershot Town don't make the playoffs this season, the margin will be tight. And I think you can blame that margin on discipline. Freddie, your thoughts?
Yeah, the boys just need to keep their heads in situations like this. But discipline isn't good enough. 2 red cards in one game that we're already out of. It's not good enough. And we've been missing key players for key games because of our poor discipline. And that will come back and bite us where it hurts at the end of the season.
Stokes has pulled down a Maidenhead player, just a free kick, nothing more. 7 added minutes, and it's going to be 7 grueling minutes for Shots. Glover says the ball's already in touch. Referee says it wasn't. Came off of him. Throw into Maidenhead. Beckwith, Adams, Loco. I don't think Maidenhead will have any desire to be too kind on Aldershot. They'll score a 5th and a 6th if they can in these remaining 7 minutes. Aldershot, it has to be said, with 9 men, have done pretty well. Here's Kwame Thomas picking up the ball inside his own area, playing it back to Van Stappershoef. It's a little short. Van Stappershoef gets there. Towering-headed winner from De Havilland, one of the players who's come on for Maidenhead. And then offside given against the Maidenhead striker that's come on, Sean Mikulski. Sorry we didn't get all the names of the Maidenhead substitutes. I'm sure you'd agree, listeners, a very chaotic afternoon, a very chaotic commentary. We're trying to juggle the other games as well. That's been taken off. The ultimate shame for Aldershot Town this afternoon. They've been taken off the radio to go to Woking, who are at least only 1 goal out of their game against Bromley. And wouldn't it'd be good for Woking if they could get a goal back and take a couple off of Bromley. 1 or 2 of the other games are finishing elsewhere. It's still Kidderminster 1, Altrincham 3, and that one's in added time. Another couple for Chris Con-Clark, possibly, arguably, the National League Player of the Season. He's in the shake-up. So is Lauren Tolaj. So is Naylor of Chesterfield. Not official, but if you know, you know. Oldham 1, Fylde 3. I don't think Oldham are going to get back into it. They're down to 10 men. Mike Fondop sent off for the 2nd or 3rd time this season. Oxford City beaten Wealdstone 1-0. Wealdstone not out of trouble yet. Solihull Moors have battled back 2-2 against Barnet, and that's in 90+6 at the minute. So it's a precious point for Solihull Moors, who Aldershot of course are already behind. The final whistle's gone at Woking. Eastleigh with a morale boosting victory at Woking. And York City have come from behind with 2 second half goals to lead title winners Chesterfield by 2-1. It's the silly season in the National League. It's the business end of a crazy season, and Aldershot Town are on the end of another crazy result this afternoon. Nightmare in all elements. Tolaj is a bit of a passenger out there. We don't quite really know what his injury is. He's not, I wouldn't say limping, but walking fairly gingerly. Maybe he's running it off. Maidenhead 4-0 up. There's a ball straight through the middle, brilliantly cut out by Kwame Thomas. If anything else happens to any other centre-backs, with Kaji and Maghoma stupidly not available on Monday, through no fault of anybody's but his own, I would like to think and hope to think club fine incoming there, because he's really cost his team. They've gone down to 9 today. He won't get to play on Monday. Hopefully Haji Manoga will, but any injury to Manoga, Harries or Harfield, and Kwame Thomas will find himself back in the side playing centre-back as he is right now with 9 men, Freddie.
Kwame Thomas has done a brilliant job at centre-back at the moment. He's cut out 2 dangerous balls, he's won a good few headers, and he's looking like he's been playing there his whole life.
Throw into Maidenhead on halfway. They're not in any rush, understandably. Who'd have ever thought Aldershot Town would be the side that might end up doing a bit of time wasted in this game? They haven't, for what it's worth. And ball sent out to the left. Glover takes it off Barrett's foot. Now he's going to clear it forward. He's looking for Tollage. Tollage gets a little push in the back, just nothing more than a nudge from Will de Havilland. Another ex-shot, another player that's worn the red and blue of Aldershot Town. Well, let's hope Aldershot Town don't wear the unlucky white socks on Monday, Freddie.
Yeah, hopefully they shouldn't be. But if they do, they're going to have to put in a better shift than they have today, because it has been an awful performance from the shots and they haven't helped themselves at all.
Stokes wins the ball, but unfairly so, according to referee Paul Johnson, who has only shown 1 red card all season and he's shown 2 today. One of those a second yellow to Dylan Kaji, and the other one a straight red to Maghoma. Nathaniel George shoots, the ball cannons back off of O'Keefe. Barrett plays the ball back to Beckwith. Beckwith back to Loco. Loco to Charlie Adams, who, like Clarima, is on a hat-trick, although Clarima has gone off. One of the older Maidenhead players. And the referee, if he's got any sense at all, would just blow the whistle early here, because neither side want the game to continue. It's all eyes on Monday now. Let's have a quick look at the bottom end of the National League, because it's been a big afternoon for Maidenhead. We can't deny them that. And they were just 1 point and 1 place ahead of the drop zone. As it stands, they're going to go up to 18th and go 4 points clear. They can't go further. And they've had a much improved in their goal difference as well. As it stands, Aldershot Town are going to be still in a playoff position, despite a goal difference of -5 at the moment. Maidenhead might be looking for a 5th. Coming down the right, cross in is cut out by Ollie Harfield, and behind for another corner to Maidenhead. And Dorking, when they see the final score, they've lost 2-0 at home to Bromley. They'll be hurting at that, but they'll come off encouraged by the fact that Aldershot have been well beaten by Kidderminster, well beaten by York, and now well beaten by Maidenhead. And Mark White will say there's no reason why they can't do it. There is the final whistle. Thank goodness, listeners, if you're still out there. I'll save my summing up because I think Tim Durrans will come to us now anyway. I'll just catch my breath. Tim Durrans, I never thought I'd say, but thank goodness it's over. Huge pain for Aldershot Town. They've succumbed 4-0 here at Maidenhead. They've had 2 players sent off as well. The story of the afternoon is a high-tempo start for Maidenhead, who scored from set pieces, won a corner, won a free kick in the opening 6 minutes to get themselves a 2-0 lead. They were smart, they were canny, they were savvy, they were full of nous throughout the afternoon. The referee was wise to some of it and showed a couple of yellows, but later on he ended up showing reds to Aldershot players. First up, Dylan Kaji, already on a yellow, but giving away a penalty, bringing down Nathaniel George, which Charlie Adams slotted home for 3-0, and Kaji shown a second yellow. Not too many minutes later, Harry's nibbled for the ball on the corner of the penalty area against Tristan Abrahams, and the referee awarded another yellow card Another penalty for Maidenhead United. Christian Maghoma, who had just started his Aldershot Town career after being out all season with an Achilles injury, had been on the pitch less than 5 minutes. I don't know if he's even touched the ball competitively yet for Aldershot Town, but he came over and said something very strong to the ref, and the ref, who's only shown one red card all season, whipped his card out of his pocket and showed Christian Maghoma a straight red. He won't be available on Monday against Dorking. Kaji won't be available on Monday against Dorking. Shots have ended up playing Kwame Thomas at centre-back. Thank goodness they've got Haji Minoga back and available on Monday. A wretched afternoon for the Shots, Tim, just to match those of Dorking and Woking. But they'll all go again on Monday. And here's the one bit of good news for Shots. Incredibly, Halifax and Oldham below them have lost as well. They stay in a playoff position, and they are no worse off than they were at the start of play, other than the goal difference, which, let's face it, was shot anyway. Maidenhead 4, Aldershot Town 0. Freddie, let's just wrap things up with our online listeners and try and find the words, if you can, to sum that afternoon up, what it means, and can you find, I hope you can find, an Aldershot Town man of the match in that performance?
If it has to be anyone, he's conceded 4 goals, but he's saved so many more, and that man would be Geordie Van Staffordshire. He's done 2 brilliant saves from Kevin Locko and Nathaniel George to parry round the post and prevent that being 5 and 6. Very unlucky with the first penalty, getting a strong hand to it, but the power just beat him. And other than that, the rest of the Aldershot Town team, they've battled, they've fought, but it just hasn't been enough for them.
Fair enough, Freddie. Sorry you've had to go through the pain. Something I learnt 6 or 7 years ago. Supporter turned commentator. You have to manage your feelings, as you've done really well this afternoon, and deliver really what's happening out there. Hopefully we've done the game justice. I'm sure many of our online listeners are either sat there listening in shock, or they've already gone off to find something else to do with their Saturday evening. We'll look at the other results. We'll have another look at the table. Thinking ahead to the team for Saturday, if Tolaj can shake off that niggle, if he's fit enough to start, Aldershot can still put a very strong 11 out. I'll give you a potential 11 here. Van Stappershoef in goal, Harfield, Harries, Minoga. Frost at right wing back probably. Glover back out on the left, and the not, as Aldershot Town fans dream, midfield pairing of O'Keefe and Widrington may have to play. And I tell you what, O'Keefe's had a solid enough game today for me in the middle of the park. And Widrington was superb in the last game. And then potentially Stokes, Tolaj and Daly. If that knock and that niggle continues for Tolaj, which I think may have been exacerbated out there when he got his yellow card for the booking. Yeah. Almost like the Maidenhead player knew about the knock, knew where it was, and wrapped him around the ankles. He might well have to go with Daly and Gandour again. What are your thoughts, and how did you feel that the front two did today?
The front two, they haven't played with each other much, so I feel they've done relatively okay with each other. Daly and Gandour are 2 quality players, but playing together they need to form a relationship. The ball didn't get played up to them too well, but the rest of the team's going to have to pull together for both of them to get the right service, for them to get chances. On thoughts of a lineup, your lineup that you're predicting sounds very confident and sounds like it could happen, yeah. especially with the red cards to Kaji and Magoma. Yeah. Leaving very few options left for the Shots, but hopefully we can bring a strong lineup out on Monday, and give Dorking a right run for their money.
Well, we can only hope so, can't we? I want to get a bit more fan reaction here as well, if I can, because borrow your microphone. Thank you, Freddie. Great job done from you. You're down to a 33% win ratio now. We need to hold you back for a banker next time. I've been joined by Becky and Ryan, isn't it? Yeah. We're we don't think we've got too many online listeners left, Becky. We're not live on the radio. The ones that are there will be there and in shock with us. Just try and describe it from your point of view this afternoon. And there is some silver lining on the cloud, and that's Halifax and Oldham have both lost. Aldershot still in a playoff position, but when it goes wrong for this team, it tends to go horribly wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We were just discussing about how we just have these games where we tend to lose our heads. Christian was on the pitch for what?
Less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes, and we could see it right in front of us. And honestly, I didn't see a lot, to be fair. I'm quite short, but it just, I don't know. That was disappointing.
Yeah, almost lost for words there, Becky Morrish. Let's be clear about the two sendings off. Kadji had a decent enough game. Yes, he's fouled and he's paid the double jeopardy, really. From where we were, we thought the ball was out of play. You don't think it was a foul? No. Becky, you tell it exactly as it was. I know that. What was your take on the penalty, the third one?
It wasn't a penalty. We don't even think it was a second yellow. He couldn't get round him. It probably was a bit. It wasn't out of play, but it definitely wasn't a penalty, and it definitely wasn't a yellow card.
Fair enough. And you've got Ryan. Sorry, Ryan, I don't know your surname. Ryan Totterdale, who's also a member of the supporters club, right? What did you think of it, Ryan, this afternoon? And the discipline has cost Aldershot. If they end up missing out on the playoffs by a fine margin, you could almost pin it on that discipline, couldn't you?
Yes, you could. I mean, the goal difference as well now isn't great. We're conceding far too many goals. First 35 minutes, 40 minutes even, we just weren't in the game at all, really. Maidenhead played a good tactical game, I thought, today, breaking it up quite a lot. We just didn't get a flow. There was no flow to it at all. And that was it, really, yeah.
Going to have to ask some tough questions of Tommy Widdington after the game. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Becky. How could Aldershot let that happen again after it happened earlier on in the season? On that occasion, they came back to win 4-2. They couldn't breach the Maidenhead goal this afternoon, and it's a wretched afternoon for Shots. The only good news being, somehow, some way, they're still in a playoff position with a goal difference of -5. Let's face it, Aldershot were never going to be able to rely on their goal difference to qualify the playoffs anyway, so they'll go again on Monday. And however much they're licking their wounds, Freddie, they're going to go against a Dorking Wanderers side that, having beaten Chesterfield at home 4-1 3 or 4 weeks ago, have not won since. They've lost everything.
Yeah, Dorking, they have their days when they're absolutely brilliant, and then they have days where they don't show up and they capitulate. Against Aldershot Town at their place earlier in the season, they really showed up, gave us a hiding, they sent us running to the hills, and if they can turn up like they do, like that on Monday, they'll give Aldershot a proper run for their money, and Aldershot are going to have to be ready for them because they're going to come fighting.
All right, thanks a lot, Freddie. Okay, regular online listeners, I don't suppose we've got any Maidenhead fans listening unless they just want a good laugh. We're going to lick our wounds, we're going to dust ourselves down, and we're going to come back again bigger, stronger, faster, and with less players than today. Final scoreline from York Road, Maidenhead United 4, Aldershot Town 0. Goodbye.